Hello, everybody. It's time for Talking Rasslin. I'm Pondwater Dave, aka Referee Super Dave Miller. Joined with me, as always, is the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn. How's it going,
Hello,
Amy?
hello. It's going good. How about yourself?
Oh, doing pretty good. Amy, I gotta tell you, I feel better than I felt in 20 years.
Why?
I've lost 15 pounds.
Good
And
for you.
these peptides had me feeling like a brand new man. I refereed 5 matches the other night.
Yes.
Very physical. Did a lot of running. A lot of moving around, a lot of up and downs. I mean, I normally that would have me walking around like a 90-year-old man all day the next day, and I feel pretty good.
So what kind of peptides? What are you taking?
I'm taking Ozempic.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just doing it for the peptides, the weight losses, and my little frame at 175 could have stood to lost a little weight, but
Mm-hmm.
but I'm telling you, I just did it because I heard it had the peptides in it. It was good for swelling of the joints. And
Mm-hmm.
week one, I felt a lot better. But last week, I didn't take my arthritis medicine for 4 days and couldn't tell.
Awesome. So
So,
like are you noticing like you're not eating as much or
oh
the
yeah,
eating or different? Like what are you doing?
like I got to make myself eat.
Really?
Yeah. But
Make sure you
July
stay
1st,
hydrated. I'm sure with the weather.
yeah. I got really sick to my stomach after the wrestling matches the other night, and because I needed to eat,
Yeah.
just because, but I'm not hungry. But so I'm gonna go from Ozempic to just peptides.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a believer. I feel like $1 million.
Wonderful. See, a little bit. I mean,
I
are
tell you
you
that in the morning, the pain normally reminds me that I'm still alive.
right?
But if I didn't have an ingrown toenail, I wouldn't know.
You still have that ingrown toenail?
It keeps coming back.
Did you have someone professionally
I'm gonna
dig
go
it
to the
out?
I'm gonna go to a podiatrist about it. But normally I just go get my toes done every month and
Right.
let Trish get in there, and she's got no qualms about whether I yell or not. She'll get me taken care of.
So,
But
do you have a goal? Going just real quick about the Ozempic. Like, are you like? Is it going to be like? Because you said you want to switch to peptides, but are you going to get to a certain weight and then switch, or what's your
yeah,
plan?
I'm not going to go below 150.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay in the 150s. But like,
So that's what, another 25 pounds? Is that what you
no,
said?
no, no. I weigh 160. I weighed 160 this morning.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought you
No,
said
no.
you weighed
I'm not gonna
170.
I'm not gonna go any lower than 150.
So you started at 175.
175.
Okay, I misunderstood. Sorry.
Yeah. But
Good for
hey,
you.
we got a fun guest tonight.
I
He's
know.
back for a second appearance.
How long's it been? When's the last time we saw him?
And Amy, we've been doing this 4 years. It feels like 2 weeks.
That's very true.
It's been too long. That's how long it's been.
Yes, I agree
So
with you.
without further ado, let's bring from Red Leather, the maker of all the great AEW belts, Mr. Ron Edwardsen. Hi, Ron.
Hey,
Welcome
Super
back.
Dave. I am proud to be back. Yeah, I've missed you too.
We've missed you too.
Now, Ron, you look like you've lost weight. Have you lost weight?
Yeah, a few pounds. I did something similar to what Dave did. I did some what is that stuff called? Not the Ozempic, but the
Is that
other one.
bound? Is
Uh,
that
Mo,
s-
bound?
Same compound, but not quite. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
begins with an M.
Hmm.
Dizetrapide?
Well, it's trizepatide, but it's the name brand.
Oh, Zet bound.
Mohib.
Manjaro. There you
Monjaro?
There
go.
you go. Thank you.
Manjaro. I don't know about
Monjaro.
peptides.
I knew it began with an M. That's what Steph's taking.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you.
I
I
mean,
feel
for a little
great.
tiny cube.
I fit in the little
But
tiny cube a little better.
I know. I was gonna say, I could tell, Ron, that you had lost some weight. You look good. good. I'm sure it's good for your health. That's always, your body's not having to carry around for weight. That's always good for it.
We lost in
different.
December, and it crushed me. So it was actually it was troublesome for a little bit there. But we got a new mascot at Red Leather. Her name's Ruby. You can
Ooh.
find her on my page. I keep posting her up there. She's a little 26-pound brindle boxer, and she's something, all right. She's full of energy.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah.
Both
We
my
take her
dogs together
everywhere.
don't weigh 26 pounds.
Oh yeah, she went
It's
from
close
8
though.
pounds in 4 weeks to 26.
Wow.
She'll top out around 75.
Our friend Carolyn has a little boxer, and they're active. That's an active breed.
Yeah, they're definitely one of my top 4 or 5 favorites. I'd go with probably Black Labs, Golden Labs, the Boxers. I mean, they're all up there. Bernedoodles, great dogs.
And how could
But
you just not love that face on a little boxer?
well, you
For
know
me,
what?
it's
I
Great
wish I knew
Danes.
how to post a picture of her up. Dave can probably pour up on my Instagram or something. I'm not sure. You guys are
bet I
faster
could.
than that. Yeah, she is a cute patoot, I tell you.
Talk, Amy, while I'm looking.
So what you been up to?
Well, I got some exciting stuff going on. I got some real exciting news that I'm going to break sometime in August. That is
Awesome.
it's going to be tremendous. I can't say anything about that, but right now I'm doing a custom belt for Adam Sandler. I'm doing my 3rd belt for Jimmy's Famous. I'm doing a couple belts for AEW again, and I'm actually starting to dive a little bit into uh, cancer research charities. So I'm doing my second
Okay.
uh, my second belt for a cancer research organization that they're going to give out as a type of a prize. There you go.
Oh
That's
my
Ruby.
goodness.
I know she's a bundle of cute.
I mean, that is fabulous.
She looks really spoiled.
And not only is she spoiled, but she's also got this case of the zoomies, which I compare to when they're banking a turn at NASCAR.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She uses the sofas and sometimes the humans as as the way to bank that turn. And she's afraid to go down steps, but she'll leap over a couch. I just don't get it.
Yeah, Ruby. Ruby got a middle name. Is it Ruby Sue? What's her middle name?
She has too many names. It's Ruby, Rose, Roundhouse. Uh,
Get
there's one more
down.
in there. Ruby, Rue, Rose, Roundhouse, Edwardsen.
I love it. Okay. Well, let me ask you about, I mean, as much as you can tell, what kind of belt does Adam Sandler want?
Well, it's actually something that I really came up with, but it's kind of more of a tribute to all the movies that he's done that I've really loved. And in fact, when I was doing some stuff with uh, battling some high blood pressure stuff, they put me on an operating table and they said, your blood pressure's too high. We can't do this. I said, give me a minute. And what I did was, if you remember Happy Gilmore, when he said, go to your happy place. Well, I went to my happy place, and I remembered back when I was a little tyke, and my grandmother would rub my blonde hair that I had at the time, and and all of a sudden my blood pressure came down, and the nurse said, she goes, I don't know what you're doing, but it's working. And I said, you know what? I kind of owe Adam Sandler for this. It's kind of weird. And then
Yeah.
through MJF, and John Daly, I've got some links to Adam Sandler since they're both great guys, and I can almost call them friends if without going too far into it. Like I wouldn't have them over on Saturday for football, or Sunday for football, but they're definitely good people that are in my corner.
That's awesome.
That is cool. And now we just learned he knows John Daly.
Yeah, I mean,
John Daly's one hell of a great guy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's as fun as you could possibly get.
I can imagine.
I would love just to hang out with him one time.
No, you wouldn't.
Huh?
No, you
One
wouldn't.
time, would you want to do it all the time, or you wouldn't want to hang out with them?
Well, it'd be the one for the record book. You
Oh,
you might not make it out alive, Dave.
oh, I don't
Well,
want
I've
to be
mellowed
like
a lot
I
in my
don't.
old age.
Yeah, I don't want to be stressed with hanging around somebody.
Yeah, no,
Like,
you wouldn't be stressed at all. You'd feel completely natural, completely normal. But he knows how to have a good time.
oh, well, interesting.
That's who I want to play around to golf with.
I wish I could play golf. I bought
Oh,
some
me too.
clubs, but I haven't taken it up.
Yeah, I started when I was 15, and I'm not any better than I was when I was 20.
Now you both are
But
young men. You can always start. There's no age on golf. You can start playing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more a matter of time. I mean, you get a lot going on, and you try to keep up with everybody. Like Dave's in my admin chat for the Click group on Facebook, and we have a great time in there. It's a very good core group of mostly kayfabe collectors. We all get along extremely well. We all align in our morals pretty much. And Dave over the years has just become one of my favorite people on the whole entire planet.
Aww.
I don't just call people out of the blue. I called Dave the other day just to say hi because I miss him. And I was
yeah,
actually telling the Dave story about how you got shot, basically saving a life. And I was telling that to a friend that didn't really know you so well. I said, "Hey, by the way, before you make any kind of judgments, just note it that Dave's a hero."
well, I
And
appreciate that.
well, I think you're a little too quiet about it. I mean, you're a
Well, I'm
pretty
proud
amazing
of it.
dude.
I don't know if it's heroic, but I
Oh,
mean,
come
Ron,
on
I
now.
tell the story every time because
I
believe
took
me,
the
I'm
best that
like,
the guy tried to kill me. I took his best shot, and he couldn't get it done. But if it wasn't for the great doctors and the good Lord himself, I wouldn't have made it.
that's right. You were
I'm
destined
proud
to
to know
be
you.
here.
Hey, Eric, Matt Presley has a question, but I'm not real sure what he's trying to ask. Think of
Okay,
some classic
I'm not
belts.
seeing the chat comments. How do I find those? I got private chat comments. Is that it?
Comments.
Okay.
Think of
Some
some
of the
classic
classic belt.
belts and the wrestling you most associate with that belt. Oh, okay, now I get your question, Matt. It's easier to read on the screen than in the window. Freeland Luger and the WCW US title. Okay.
Oh, is he asking for a free belt? I'm not really sure what he's
No, he
asking
wants
there.
you like a classic belt. What's one of your favorite classic belts, and what wrestler do you associate with it?
Oh, well, you know what? Unfortunately, my favorite wrestler doesn't really have a whole lot of belts, and we know who that is. That's Piper.
Yeah.
Uh, he had the classic Mid Atlantic belts where he seemed to have the best runs. I really love the old what's it called Mocha belt with the U.S.
Right.
Flag, the two Hawaiians or the Alaska and the Eagles. That's one of my favorites. I am a massive, and I mean massive, Americana guy. Like anything America is top of my list. The WCW 5 plate, the JMAR 3 plate, even the WWE's. I mean, I love all U.S. belts. I love the red, white, and blue. That's basically my
What is
core.
The
what
current
is the
US belt's one of
JMAR?
my favorites.
What did you say? The JMAR 3 plate. What is that?
It's the one Flair
Uh,
had. Flair and
JMAR's
Conan.
test with basically
Okay.
what's that?
You were cutting out. It's
Oh, I was
when they
cutting out.
when they quit
It's
using
this
Reggie.
part.
They quit using Reggie and started using Jamar. And
Okay.
he kind of used the main plate. It's a little wider, but instead of
Okay.
having 5 plates on it, like the one that Conrad just sold,
Yes.
it's just 3 plates.
Okay.
I
I don't know
hear
all
some bumps in
sometimes
the
the
back.
lingo when I ask questions.
Yeah, that's Fritz and Bucky. They like to make their presence known.
I mean, I definitely draw the majority of my inspiration from the classic Reggies because, I mean, he's just the best. And some people will say I'm the king of belts, and I'm like, well, I can't really be the king because that would be Reggie. And they're like, well, Reggie unfortunately has passed on, you're the new king. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's a hardcore title to have. I don't know if I want it, but I am proud to say that most of my designs, I believe, will end up being classics like Reggie's.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, just what you've already done is pretty iconic.
I would keep going. I mean, I think I've got at least another 25, 30 years in me, I hope.
I mean, to me, like the tag belt, I know that's 100% Ron design that you did it with the. I know it's been kind of that Jimmy's has a belt kind of like that. Uh, what was the horror related one?
That was the Days of the Dead show, and
Yeah,
I think a good collector, Mike Carruth, owns that now. Um, that was a pretty fun belt. It was actually designed by a guy named Caleb Loop, and then I cleaned up the art, sent that out. Did the wonderful kids from Stranger Things held that belt up at a show, so it made People magazine. Yeah, it's a dream to me, Dave. Probably the same way to you as being a ref. I mean, you
well,
grew up probably wanting to be a ref or wanting to be a wrestler, and there you are.
I wanted to be a ref, and I couldn't get in. And then fast forward to, uh, almost 20 years later, I show up to and go to wrestling school, and then transition into being a ref. So, but I guess out of all your belts, the tag belts design is what when I think of like that one to me, that design is your calling card, but not exclusively limited to it because the TNT belt, the bling, is my absolute favorite belt that you've ever made.
Yeah, this one here was Wardlow's.
I love it, man. That's beautiful. How Sammy Wright popped in and said, "I'll trade you." Everybody, y'all send some prayers up for Sammy. He suffered an injury in the ring the other night in Louisiana. He got a really bad broke his ankle really bad and
Ooh,
had his first surgery today. He's going to have another one next week, and we're hoping that he'll get back better than ever. But
right.
just
Well, he better. He's going to
there's
train
never a
you.
good time to suffer that kind of injury. And
But in the meantime, he can train you while he's healing.
Right. He's going to have to heal so he can train you.
hey,
That's
I
right.
may take him up on it because I'm feeling pretty good. And there's
Yeah.
not very many 60-year-old rookies. Hey, the way everybody's been coming after me at SWA and Lost Art here lately, I might need to train just so I can protect myself. I've been getting into some hairy situations. Not to mention that Rob Love takes liberties every chance he gets.
Mm-hmm.
I would think you have a lot of
Hmm.
protectors. I'll protect you.
I need these to protect me.
Yeah, well, then call me up, man. We'll knuckle somebody up for you.
Oh, Andrew popped in. Hi, Andrew. Andrew manages a car dealership, so last day of the month, I would imagine he is very busy.
Yeah, I bet so. Willie said he would drive the cart if y'all want to play golf. I saw that up there. Willie Buck's here. Willie Farnbrew's here.
Hi, Willie. Both of you.
Matt's here.
Ron, how many stones? I've heard you say, is it 1,577 stones in that bling belt?
You nailed it, buddy.
1,577.
Yep. I had to count them one by one just out of curiosity.
Oh man.
I didn't know how many it was. I was like, that's a lot.
How long does it take to put 1,577 stones in a belt?
A solid 8 hours broken up over 2 or 3 days. I'm not doing all that all at once.
Yeah.
Maybe 500 is a shot. It's way too much, but yeah, it's still fun because look at the result at the end.
Did they abuse it real bad and send it back to you missing a bunch of them?
Actually, the guys at AEW don't seem to really abuse belts too badly. I mean, there's the occasional broken bolt because the belt is being used as a weapon, but not very often. Really good people.
It always makes me cringe, and it always has made me cringe when belts hit the floor. I don't even like seeing them dropped in the mat. But
I don't either. I feel it. I feel it right in my stomach.
When they hit that ramp, I just tense up.
I think that ramp's actually padded, and it still hurts me. Especially when you hear that sound of it hitting concrete, that clank or clunk, however you want to word it. You feel it goes straight up your back, and you just, I don't care how much money's in it, you don't want to see your baby get hurt like that.
You know what spot they do that makes me cringe the most when it comes to belts? Tag teams, when they take the belts
and they clank them together.
Cheers. Oh,
that does hurt. Absolutely. I'm looking in the back. Has Amy got some new belts back there? I'm looking for some. Where's that? She had a NWA television last time.
She still does.
He's right here.
Oh, there it is. I see it now. Okay.
He's right. I have no, but I've added some FTR, and they probably have your belt somewhere. I've added some FTR figures. I haven't added any belts. I haven't. I just got my one.
Maybe you need a Pondwater and Amy belt made.
Wouldn't that be cool? I kind of, FTR, they're kind of talking about like they might be wrapping it up. I might need something to commemorative them. I have to look into that.
Strikes me as the type of tag team that would have replicas of the belts that they've held if they don't have the actual ones.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I think you've seen it in.
I've got a red
Jax's
right here.
House.
I don't know if you can see it.
Got them like hanging or something.
There's a red right there.
Oh yeah. The old NXT.
It's re-leathered and re-stoned by Ron. It's actually the official shop version that they put out, but he changed the stones and the leather.
That was a fun belt. That's like probably the 4th or 5th belt I ever did. I was just learning, so really? you got an early edition. Since
I know you told us before. When was the last time? 2015. We were talking. It's like I feel like it, again. Dave and I said we've been doing this for a couple of years now, but I was like, were you on with us last year, or has it been 2 years?
I think it was last year.
I don't know if I did. Year? I did the show with Kevin Davenport probably about a year ago, and you were before Kevin by a month or two.
Okay.
And then recently I did the one with JBL and Conrad, which I don't care how many of them you do, you still get nervous. I don't know. I don't know how you two feel, but I mean, I always gotta take a shower, put some deodorant on right before I hop on, even though nobody can smell me or anything. I gotta feel fresh to death.
I'm gonna tell you, you sounded like you were having so much fun on that podcast with JBL and Conrad.
I marked out a little bit. I mean, JBL he takes me back to my JBL days of watching APA, and their backstage skits. They were second to none for their time. And Ron Simmons walking around. Damn, I love that.
I mean, what they did, just the silliness of it. As hey, use the door. It's just.
Do you remember when? Well, you probably knew this. I didn't, but when I watched in that era, and then I later saw JBL as a commentator, somebody said, "Well, that's Bradshaw." And I was like, "No, Bradshaw's got a mustache and long." Dark hair. That's not the same guy. And like, no, dude, you got to look at him. It's the same guy. I'm like, how did I not see this?
Well,
just like Pritchard, I never knew he was Brother Love until I watched one of Conrad's shows, and he's like, "I love you." I was like, "No way, that is him." Oh wow. I mean, Mick Foley. I mean, you knew that one though. I mean, it wasn't.
Well, see, they came to the Sportatorium when I was a kid. I mean, I wasn't a kid; I was a grown man, but. When they came to the Sportatorium, like I used to watch Foley, he was Cactus Jack Manson. We had JBL was Justin Hawk. He came in during Global, so just any of them that came through, Like that's why I've always been such a fan of Jeff Jarrett, because I remember Jeff coming to the sport tournament in '88. So through all their incarnations, I might not have been a huge fan of their characters that they were doing, but there was always a special place for the guys that came through the sportatorium. I mean, I remember seeing Shawn Michaels get his hair cut by Gino Hernandez and Chris Adams. I remember seeing Rick Rude when he was ROOD instead of RUDE.
Hmm.
I remember seeing MJF backstage and saying, "Who's this kid with this scarf, man? That thing's never going to go. He's not getting over with that scarf. Look at him."
I know. MJF is my absolute favorite part of AEW.
Who can blame you? I mean, he's super talented.
I compared him to Ric Flair earlier today.
You know what? I can see that.
Well, here's how I look at it. We're going to talk about the big ass wrestling weekend that we just came off of. We're not going to cover the whole weekend. I picked a few matches for us to talk about, but the discussion was, and this was before Sami Zayn won the championship. I don't see Sami Zayn as the world heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's champions that win the championship, but they don't keep the championship.
Like the Sheik.
Like you look at Harley Race. That guy's an NWA champion, can be plugged in as NWA champion whenever. Flair can be plugged in as champion whenever. Roman is champion.
Mm-hmm.
MJF is that type of champion.
I feel like Roman was a forced champion, though. He might be a champion now because he's
grown into it. It was originally forced.
And I thought you were going to go with the Sheik there because Bob Backlund was holding it forever. Transferred it to the Sheik because Backlund didn't want to turn heel and go against Hogan. So they had the Sheik win, and then Hogan beat the Sheik.
Right. And they said the same thing with Ivan Koloff between Bruno with Bruno and Morales. But I'm not talking about just so much as a transitional champion. Like take Tommy Rich. Mm-hmm. Tommy Rich was hotter than hell. Harley dropped the belt to him. Got it back the next week. Kerry Von Erich dropped the belt to him. Kerry, I'll say it. Kerry was not going to be a 4-year NWA champion. He was going to be a short-term champion. The thrill is in the chase. I would rather see people chase MJF for the belt than MJF not have the belt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hangman Page got the belt, and they didn't know what to do with him once he got it. He climbed the mountain, and there he was. But then it was just kind of same with Ronnie Garvin. Everybody was excited when Garvin won the belt, but by the time he lost it back to Flair, it was like, and even Dusty.
I can feel you on that.
And even Dusty. Dusty knew that it was better for him to get it, keep it for a short period, and drop it back.
Sure. I mean, it's what's best for business, and it seems like what's best right now is what's going to sell the most side plates, and
yes,
that's where I go with it. It's like, oh well, you know what? We're dried up on Cody plates. We're dried up on Roman plates. Let's give it to the Zayn guy and sell a bunch of side plates. Let's do that, and then maybe we'll move over to a LA Knight or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts.
They also love selling custom belts now. I mean, they just came out with 2 Stone Cold belts. And I got to admit, I don't normally go for the tribute belts, but the Smoking Skull, it's got purple on it. They painted it with purple on there, and it looks pretty badass.
You know what's funny is I haven't even seen it yet. I won't even bat an eye at tribute belts.
I went and looked for it. They had them on Fanatics, and then I learned that there was a second one. But have
you heard about this scam that people are doing? It's where you'll find a hat, something like this one, and you'll find it on eBay. You'll buy it, and apparently it's a $52 hat. You get it for $30. The person is using someone else's credit card, buying it from Fanatics, taking the 30 that you send them and putting in a separate account. Well, here's where the problem comes in. 9 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from a guy in Florida that says, "Hey, man, why are you using my credit card to buy these hats?"
Oh
And,
no.
and then, I go into Fanatics to buy my father-in-law a hat for his birthday, and they say, "We're sorry, we can't sell you any hats because we have your address being used as using stolen credit cards." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. Look, I got eBay receipts for
Mm-hmm.
everything I did." So, as much as I like Fanatics, that's where I was going with this.
Oh,
I can't even buy a hat from them.
oh wow.
Mm.
And then it's not just me. If I want something from Fanatics, I got to call you up or something and say, "Hey, Dave, I'm gonna pay you some money. Can you
That is
buy a hat for
crazy.
me?"
I'm telling you, if there's something I see online that I want, like if I saw an ad on Facebook, I would go look for it on Amazon. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't buy from a Facebook link
Mm-hmm.
That's a
or an
smart way.
Instagram because I don't trust it. Because a couple years ago they had a Hallmark. There was a Hallmark Christmas ornament where it was like a scene, and what it would happen was it was like the old Batman '66 where they would go to the bat poles and slide down the bat pole with Bruce and Dick slide down the bat poles. They come out at the bottom as Batman and Robin, like on the TV show.
Yeah.
Like it's the top part's Wayne Manor and the bottom part's the Batcave. And it was a really cool Christmas ornament. And it looked when I got mine, the one I bought off of eBay, it looked like somebody carved it, tried to just carve into a bar of soap.
Oh God.
Or Stephanie tried to buy me a fire pit one time and got a watch.
I'm wondering
So
how many of your viewers are saying, "What the hell is he talking about?"
I mean, just
Batman 66. Is he crazy?
yeah.
Holy strawberries, Batman.
I grew up with that. I've got the entire series. I've got the box set of the entire series, and it's cool because they send you a script. They send you a script for one of the episodes, so you
Oh,
can
Uh,
follow
cool.
the script and see how much Cesar Romero improvised as the Joker.
that was the good old days of television.
Yeah,
Not like today, everything's regurgitated, but
So
and
let me ask a question about kind of going back to belt. So, one of the things that we have kind of seen lately, at least even in the wrestling genre, I guess you could say, is belts and collectibles going for so much money. Heritage Auction, just did something in May where they had a belt that was up for auction. They had trunks, they had robe, they have all kinds of different memorabilia. So the belt went for what, 150? Is that right,
U.S.
Dave?
belt went for 158,000.
yeah, I think it was like 130 plus the
158,000.
fees or something. Is
Yeah,
that right? Yeah.
158 is what the actual. That's what the guy actually paid 158 for it.
Right. So how does that make you feel as a belt maker that there's this like surge of people that are looking at collectibles in that way? I know you said you want to be doing this 25, 30 years, into the future, and you should be able to. But how would you feel if you had, a belt you have created was up on the auction block like that?
I think I'd be over the top. This is actually a topic that Dave and I discussed on the phone just a day or two ago. There's some people out there that are really mad about it. That basically belts that they're buying for 8, 10,000 are going for upwards of 100 because they're taking them out of collectors' hands. But the person that bought this belt was a collector, so it's staying in the community. Now, my the Stone Cold tag / Intercontinental belt that's going on Heritage, and I mean, I'd be a fool to turn down 75, 100, $150,000, who knows what. Um,
Well, let's clear
Are
it
you
up for
saying
the
that's
people.
your belt? Your belt's going on Heritage Auction?
no, no, this is
No. Oh.
the belt that Stone Cold took. He took the Intercontinental from The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
He was set it down, He threw some swimmies into a river,
Yeah.
and then he picked up a tag belt, but only showed you the back, and he flung it into the river in New Hampshire. A fan fished it out. He tried to sell it or extort WWF. They told him just keep it. Fast forward 25-ish years, the belt ends up on Marketplace for an undisclosed amount. That person asked me if it was legitimate. I said, "You go get it, and I'll give you another undisclosed amount." He did. I did. The belt ended up here, and I was checking it over. I was like, "Man, this thing is dry rotted, really, really bad." Uh,
Hmm.
I can't imagine. I've never seen a belt this badly damaged. It was also autographed by Stone Cold, so I immediately started to research, making all the calls, and I found out that this is the belt that was fished out of the river. Well, Conrad, he contacted me. We talked about the belt. We got online with Heritage, and Heritage said, "Would you be interested in selling it? We think it's going to go somewhere between 75 and 200,000." I'm like, I'd be a fool not to do that deal,
Hmm.
because the belts that Dave and I grew up loving, unfortunately, we're starting to age out to a point where the people that are loving belts now are the only thing they have to love are network logos,
Right.
Right.
right? I mean, where are the people that love the undisputed V1, the undisputed V4, the uh, the WCCW, one of my absolute favorite belts, um, the Winged Eagles. I mean, these fans, they've never seen a Winged Eagle defend it, most of them now. So,
Hmm.
how many people are going to really care about a tag or an intercontinental belt from 1990 in 10 years? So to me, it's the right time.
Well, the
Uh,
Winged Eagle's been gone for a long time, but Cody wanting to bring it out was quite a resurgence in the Winged Eagle.
God bless him. That's probably my favorite belt that I didn't create. And God bless Cody for bringing it back. So it must be near and dear to him.
I get
Yeah.
treated like a leper for my opinion on the Winged Eagle. It's my it's one of my least favorite WWF championship belts.
Well, forget
But
about
but
what
I
it is.
think the reason is that when I first saw it on Hulk Hogan, it looked too small to be a world belt because the AWA belt was huge, the big gold was huge, and Hogan's wearing this little bitty belt. If I'd have
Hmm.
seen that belt on Shawn
Hmm.
Michaels or Randy Savage first, I might have a different perception of it. But compared to the other world titles, it just didn't. And I also, even though it was a common design belt, the Hogan 85 that he wore at WrestleMania 1 is like one of my that NWA television title designed like your Arn belt,
Wait,
Amy.
was that an 84 or an 85?
I think it was an 85. It was an 85 at WrestleMania.
Well, I thought he had the 84 with the red letters coming down the hallway with Mr. T. No,
I thought it was
I
the
could be wrong.
85 with the black paint.
You might be right. It's one of them.
Uh, but
Well,
but I love
that's our
that
era.
one. Uh, I really love that one. But if
That's
you asked
smaller than the
me
Winged Eagle.
what my favorite all time WWF belt is the blue block Big Eagle. I
Well,
like the
but
Big Eagle.
here's what don't think a lot of people get. When you take the belt and you forget about who held it for a minute, and you break down the art, and you look at a Winged Eagle and a Big Eagle are the same exact belt made by two different belt makers. They both got bars. One
Hmm.
one was a little smarter and made them into the etch. They both have great big eagles. They both have the same style banners. And it's not until you really start to break the art down that you start to see what they were thinking. Because it's not easy to take all these elements and make something incredible. But I challenge you to do that. It's pretty cool. Did you start to look over your shoulder for it?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
looked because it's behind my head. You can't see it.
Yeah, later on tonight, you're going to put a big eagle right next to a winged eagle. You're going to look at him. You can be like, Ron's right, man. That's the same exact belt.
Well,
Like the
I just thought
AEW
that
women's.
Jmar's designs I thought they were pretty innovative. I like the oval IC, but the oval IC is still one of my favorites. The the um uh the oval IC, the raw tags. I always loved the raw tags. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you, in 2005, Rico Mann showed me designs that he had on his laptop that he submitted to WWE, and if they would have gone with those, it would have been. I mean, I believe something pretty close to the IWGP V4 that everybody loves.
That is a very
was
nice
a
belt.
WW was originally a WWF concept that he was trying to show them, but he had some of the most innovative belts at that time. Just designs on his laptop that he showed me, and that, of course, they passed on.
So let me ask a question. So a lot of times when I'm talking to Dave, he will say about how he's watching things through the ref's eyes, like when he's watching a match or stuff like that. So, like when you're looking at a belt, regardless of it being on TV or what somebody has it as a belt creator, what are you most impressed with, Ron, about belts? Is it you start, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like what really catches your eye? And
take a tag. This is a classic Reggie tag that was re-leathered by Mike Nicolau. But you take a look at the eagle coming through here. This eagle finds itself into a lot of Reggie designs. It's the NWA US. It's several other belts. He loves to plug that in. These little florals right over here. He loves to use this on the Hogan 84, Hogan 85, quite a few other belts. And what a lot of people don't know is a lot of these parts, like right here, these are all clip art from old magazines. And when you can take, well, when I'm designing a belt, I always start off with a square. And then I start to manipulate the square. So in this case, I can see what he did is he took a square and he put a piece of clip art across the bottom. He used the clip art for the frame. He put some good grapplers in here, and he put a little loop up on top. Coming around to the other plate, you can see exactly what he did. That's all clip art. So you can actually find this stuff in old magazines. So I get super fascinated by the use and reuse of the clip art in the way that sometimes you look at it and say, what's that doing there? And then you kind of see that it just all comes together and it just makes a beautiful piece of art. Just like Dave just looking over his shoulder a minute ago. It's like he's like, wait a minute, is Ron right? Is a big eagle the same as a winged eagle? And then later on, he's probably going to message me like, damn it, Ron, you're right.
Reggie liked to use crowns too. He's a big fan of crowns. He put crowns on the 85. He had crowns on that tag belt. Sometimes he would put a crown on a belt instead of a logo. Like if you might have got a winged eagle with a crown instead of the WWF logo.
I can only guess what would happen if I would have got to work with him just for a few years.
Oh, and that to answer the question, Willie says, does anybody know what WCW paid for the U.S. title originally? I guarantee you they didn't pay more than $900 for it.
That's probably right for the time.
It may not have even been 900 for them.
That's probably right. Probably around 1,000, maybe.
And first winged eagle I ever bought from Reggie, it was non-logoed. I think it had the FWF logo on it. But I bought a winged eagle from Reggie for $900.
But then what happened was that you used to have etchers all across the United States that would, make your plates. But then so many people were ripping them off that they said, we're not dealing with belt makers anymore. So then you end up with like 3 or 4. So then they started to realize, wait a minute, we can charge more and more and more. So your $900 belt became an $1,800 belt.
Right.
And then through inflation, your $1,800 belt became a $3,200 belt. And then, of course, overseas steps in and they don't have the OSHA. They don't have the the chemical process to get rid of the old acid. I don't know what they do with it. Maybe they put it in the ground. Maybe they put it in a river. They've also got the minimum wage there, I believe, is $180 a month. So imagine if you could hire 10 employees to work for you 40, 50 hours a week for $180 a month, what you could accomplish. I mean, I'd be turning out 150 belts easily.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, here we've got the IRS, we've got OSHA, and we've got extremely expensive
labor laws.
Well, anybody that watches this show knows that we do a commercial for Big Time Belts every week. And I mean, wrestling promotions all over Mississippi are. I mean, even
I don't know who that is.
It's the maker's name is Muhammad Zubair.
Okay.
But his Facebook group is Big Time Belts, and that's how he brands his belts. But he like for Battle Zone Wrestling, they sent me a design made that they came up with AI, and he made them a belt that was completely stacked, and I mean with stacked plates and copper plating. We actually did copper plating. It's a beautiful belt. It's unique. It's an original design, and they got it for, I don't want to tell how much they paid for that because they're a customer. They were well under $500.
Wow.
For, a belt that I would put that design for originality up against pretty much anything. Just like, hey, you could throw it on the table with belts that you see on TV. I guarantee you that in as far as indies go, he's probably got it's a top 10 belt. Not that one.
Okay. That one still got Mox blood on it.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
The AEW belt is by far the heavyweight. Well, they don't call it the heavyweight, but their main belt is not my favorite of their belts. Again, I'm not budging off the TNT bling being my favorite ever AEW belt. And the Continental Unified belt is probly second.
Wow. I appreciate that.
That is a beautiful belt. It pisses me off, Ron.
Well, I'm sorry, Dave.
Well, think about it. You have the International and you have the Continental, and you combine them and you come up with the most beautiful belt that you make. And then you come out with a replica of it. We love this belt so much that we're going to put a replica out. And then we're going to break them up. And they're the same damn concept.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, to be honest.
It don't make any sense. It makes my belt pope mad. The belt pope does not approve the separating of the Continental and the International.
Well, there's so many like pieces in there. Like number one is I love the Continental because it is I was told to make something that had a vibe of classic WCW, cruiserweight, that type of an idea. So it does have a little bit of looks like. I hate when the looks like people are wrong when they say, "Hey, that looks like." I'm like, no, it doesn't. That's not what inspired it at all. But I did truly love making the International. It's definitely one of the best looking belts, I think, in the world. I think the Unified is one of the best looking belts in the world. I think the heavyweight is one of the best looking belts in the world. And it's right up there with the IWGP V5. And if you forget about who owned them in the history, I think it competes with a big gold. Sorry, Dave. Get a little stock out of you on that one.
Well, I'm thinking.
I believe that the Unified is going to make a reappearance, and I don't have any inside information.
I got nothing against the two designs. It's the concept of breaking you unified them and then breaking them up. I hate it when the WWE does the same thing. They'll unify them and then break them back up. And I'm telling you, in your version of the International that became the United States Championship, that one is my favorite of that that design, whether it be the women's belt, the international, that United States version was incredible.
Yeah, let me see if I can get you there. That one right there.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorites. And I actually had Max sign that one for me.
How many belts do you have, Ron? I mean, like physically, are your own belts? I know Dave has in the 70s, but I just wondered how many do you actually have?
You know, my wife would kill me if I give this real number.
I don't want you getting in trouble.
It's probably closer to 300 or 400.
Wow.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty. There's stacks of belts. I've got a Milliken Dome Globe. I've got a Peter Ellis Dome Globe. I've got a Tyrus Dome Globe. You know, I've got all the Elites TV Elite series for WWE. I've got all of the AEW belts in probably duplicate. I wanted to make sure that I guess my collection is complete. I don't collect anything that I didn't see defended, with the exception of a few. Like I have a Reggie Vegas Gold.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that defended. I don't even know if it was defended. Was it?
I think there's a picture of Rick in the ring with it.
I think it's in the ring, but I don't know if it was ever up for grabs.
I think Rick and Mr. Perfect were in the ring with it once, but I think that then it got used again. And the reason it's called the Vegas Big Gold is he cut a promo at a craps table or the blackjack table holding the belt.
Let's see. What's Matt saying here? Matthew Elvis Presley. Yeah,
you have two matches.
Be the booker.
Singles
you know what?
Book the matches, wrestling, living or dead, any championship, past or present.
You know what? I'm a Piper fan to the core. I'm going with Piper and Hogan one more time, with the exception of Piper's the champion. And then you know what? For my tag match, I'll probably put Piper in there with Cowboy Bob Orton, and I'll even give Hogan. Let's go with Snuka. I'll give him Superfly Snuka.
Ooh.
But back before he did his thing, whatever that was, I don't even pretend to know. I just take them as what they used to be.
Yeah.
Watching them fly off the ropes after doing that, all the way across the ring. That's a good question
crazy.
there, Matthew.
The first time I ever saw Jimmy Snuka was on the Madison Square Garden network. USA would show the Madison Square Garden shows once a month. And he jumped, and it's when he jumped off top of that steel cage. And I was blown away by him. And then you fast forward a few years, and I found an old tape of him from Georgia, tag teaming with Terry Gordy, wearing boots. And he wrestled Kevin Von Erich on the Superstation, and Kevin Von Erich was wearing boots.
Did you watch the classic old Rockin' Rasslin cartoons?
I did not. I thought it was silly.
Oh, you missed. It was good.
My brother loved it. That's when they started losing me, because I'm like, no, because Night of 1,000, when they were doing they all got on stage and they were singing, you know, na 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 na, and I'm like, how are they not fighting each other? How are y'all all in the same picture and y'all aren't fighting each other?
Well, they kind of were. I mean, you see them. I think somebody. I don't remember. I have to go watch it again, but I think somebody was choking somebody out.
And the bad guys were on one side and the good guys were on the other.
Right. They still had kayfabe.
That's right. I totally believed it as a 10-year-old or whatever I was at that time.
They started losing me because I liked Black Glove Ted DiBiase. And then he became the $1 Million Man. And I loved
that $1 Million Man, though. That was a great.
And then Dusty and Polka Dots and
oh well.
But they were doing stuff, and then they made Harley Race the King, and he pulled it off. But I was just more into the realistic presentation that was going on with I was an NWA guy.
Sure.
And I didn't like the characters and the cartoons, and I mean they had me all the way up, and I loved the Rock and Wrestling Connection. And I mean, and I loved WrestleMania 1 with Muhammad Ali, and even Liberace's the timekeeper has stood up and rang that little dinner bell, and Billy Martin was there, and the
I was just about to
Rockettes.
say Billy Martin,
So I mean, I
Cyndi
loved it,
Lauper, and
but then it just started getting silly, and then Saturday night's main events with the skits, and I mean, and then they neutered the sheep herders and made them the bushwhackers, and I get it now looking back at it because they made a lot of money licking kids' heads and eating sardines and doing that. And but I remember them being so vicious, like a barbed wire tag team match. The ropes had barbed wire on them against the Fantastics, and they all bled a gallon at the Superdome. So it was like I was seeing these wrestlers, and now I understand that it was better for them, that they were making buckets and buckets and buckets of money, but it just didn't hit for me that way, you know? I needed it to be just a little more believable. Hey, Frankie Thomas pops in.
I
well,
hope
it's
he's
funny you
feeling
say that.
I hope he's feeling much better.
Yeah, I
He's
do
having a
too.
little health issue today too.
I saw that on Facebook. Hope you're feeling better, Frankie.
Now let me ask you this, Dave, and maybe Amy too. I'm not sure. Did you both see when Macho Man came off the rope and nailed Steamboat in the throat with the bell?
I believe that he crushed his windpipe.
I cried like a baby. I hated Macho Man
Oh,
for
I
years.
hated Randy Savage.
And when they said they were making him champ, I was like, I hate that guy. But that's to me always been how you can tell that a wrestler is a really, really, really good character. If you either love or hate that wrestler, they're doing a great job. I hated Harley Race. I hated Adonis. I hated Piper at times. And that's how I know that they were doing a fantastic
Oh
job.
man, as an adult, after I started refereeing and understand when Randy Orton spit in Harley Race's face, I hated Randy Orton for years. How could you spit in Harley Race's face? I mean, when you can get, and I love to get caught up in it, and if I get caught up in it, and I preach believability all the time. Like,
Oh, you mean like when Hogan got that gold chain ripped off? I believed it.
yeah, I
I was
believe
like,
it. Andre broke his
Andre,
heart.
how could you do this? You know, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, you killed me, Andre.
No,
That
I
hurt.
mean, it's but no, I believe that he crushed. I believe that he crushed his windpipe, and that match from WrestleMania 3 is one of the greatest wrestling matches ever.
Mhm.
Which one?
Steamboat Savage from WrestleMania
Okay,
3.
okay, yeah, that's one that really hurt. And then I remember later on when I found out that when Hogan slammed Andre in WrestleMania 3, they said this is the first time ever. And then I went back and watched the old
Yeah.
AWA stuff. I was like, that's like the 50th time he slammed Andre. It's
Oh, he
like,
got slammed on Mid South Television.
it's like, but we believed it.
It wasn't the first time Hogan slammed him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking
I
about.
love going back and watching the late like 79, 80 Hogan with Freddie Blassie.
You're
And
making me think of the old classic Ric Flair versus Roddy Piper in the I think it was that Mid South
Mid Atlantic.
where Mid Atlantic where Piper came out and he was putting some seriously technical quick moves on Flair and he was just smashing them and I was like, holy cow! I never knew
You know,
this Buddhist existed.
you mentioned that Mid Atlantic belt that you related that to Piper. I don't know if I've ever told you this. That Mid Atlantic belt is the reason that I'm a belt mark.
I can believe it. It's one of the first belts I collected.
I saw it in the back of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. They did they would do an advertisement for the wrestling the photo album, the wrestling album, and it had the Steamboat just standing there wearing that in that white paint, that
You talking
white
about this
paint on
one, or are
the.
you talking about
No, I'm talking about
the red, white, and
the
blue
white
one?
one.
Oh, okay.
And
I have that one here too.
the way that white one just stuck out, it just got that I really started paying attention to the wrestling belts after that. And because we didn't have a lot of great belts in world class until like 84 when they started changing them out. because they used the same belt for everything.
I love this one.
10 pounds of silver.
Love it. One of my favorites, and it's still underrated. And then
Yeah, because
here's the one you're
I'll
talking
see the
about.
version painted, and I don't like it painted.
You're
Yeah,
talking about
that's
that
it.
guy.
That's the one that started it all.
I can see that. I tried to stay true to it. It's one of the first belts I ever made back when I had just some kind of graffiti red.
I would love to see the belt, because the reason that belt disappeared because Buzz Tyler got pissed off at Crockett and left and took the belt with him. I would love to see that belt surface now, the way that belts are, because there's belts that we didn't think we were ever going to see again. Take, for instance, the United States belt that Nikita Koloff broke. He took it, Luger's belt, and busted it on the corner post, and it cracked it. We thought that was gone, would never be seen again, and it's going to be at Heritage Auction.
Wow.
These belts are coming out of the woodwork. There's a fellow on Chris Crone from Canada that he has a lot of Molkovic belts, and he's got the Canadian belt that Rick Martel had, and it's going to be he's going to be sending it to Heritage, and that's an old cast Molkovic, like the Backlund world title, like the world class, the Texas title. You know, everybody used to like the Rock and Roll Express's tag team titles, the 20. You know, everybody had those Molkovic casts. And that one's he put it on Facebook today that it's going to Heritage.
I can't blame him. It's the time to cash out, because
Yeah,
how old are those people that remember the old Mocha belts? I'm too young at the age of 54 to really be associated with them, with the exception of that one Jamar I just pulled up. This was actually cast off of Slaughter or Flares, I'm not sure which, by Jamar, and I got the plates and I leathered this one myself.
I love it. I've got one down there myself.
And it's got the heavyweight is spelled wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know how you messed that up, but okay. Someone actually asked that on a red leather post. They said, "Is the heavyweight spelled wrong?" I'm like, "Well, is there any other way?" I mean,
yeah, it was spelled wrong on the original. Why would you fix it?
yep. This is one of the very few that I know that were cast off the original belt.
If I was Kevin Von Erich, I'd get my belt back from that mall in Israel that it's displayed in.
Oh wow!
Could you imagine if Kevin actually sold that belt? Because there's only two of them. Dan Lambert's got one, and Kevin's got the other one.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of belts come out of the woodwork now, and it's both a hindrance and a blessing. I mean, the bad part is, I'd rather see the bulk of these really cool belts be in one collection where we can see them, like with WWE or with Conrad or somebody that could actually keep them together, rather than have 50 different collectors have them.
Yeah.
But I'm also understanding that a lot more people that spend on sports memorabilia are now shifting their focus from stocks to collectibles.
Well, I don't think the person that paid $158,000 for that belt bought it as an investment.
Well, what about the Hogan boots? They went for like what, 1.03 million?
Over $1 million. And I believe, and we don't know who bought them. I believe it was either Fanatics or WWE to set the market high. Because then all of a sudden, El Grande Americano masks, Austin's knee brace, they're running auctions. They're running auctions on stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if, and I'm not saying a fabricated number, the guy that sold them, that's what he got for them. So, but could you imagine if WWE were to start providing wrestling gear for their wrestlers, and then they have to give them back after the match, and they have the microchipped, and this is the match it was in, and they can turn around and sell it.
I don't think they could. It'd be way too hard to keep track of, and it'd be way too expensive because they'd have a lot of I don't want to say no names, but no names would be getting equipment made. That could you imagine if you could get like the Rock's first tights that he ever wore? When
but I'm saying, but they go to Charlotte Flair. Here's your WrestleMania robe, and then after the match is over, they take her WrestleMania robe. Next day, it's up for sale. They paid $12,000, $13,000 for it. They sold it for $40,000, $50,000.
That probably will happen.
I could see it.
Do you have any of the Karen McDaniel's robes?
I don't.
It is an absolute work of art. Karen has got. I know when I do the Bling 1577,
Hmm.
my hands hurt. I have to get up every 3 hours and I have to I just walk away. My hands are just like this. And I said to her, I said, "How do you set all those stones? It's got to be like making the 1577." She says, "Oh yeah, my hands are hurting something fierce." And I was like, "That makes sense."
Yeah, Miss Carrot, she made them back in the day too. But and if you don't know Amy, Karen McDaniel's Wahoo's widow,
Yes.
but she made robes. I know she made them for Rick. She may have made them for Tully and made them for Tully and Orndorff as well.
Yeah,
I
it
know
was two. I forget who the second one is, but
the
you
other one's
probably know
Olivia
it.
Walker.
That's right. Man,
But
imagine the I think you and I probably have forgotten more information than most people know.
I I noticed I saw an Elvis magazine once, and I did a little research and found out that Olivia Walker actually made some of Elvis's jumpsuits.
Wow.
And you can look
Yeah.
at Flair's white robes and see the inspiration that Flair took from Elvis's jumpsuits to some of the early robes.
How do you feel about the C4?
I think it's beautiful.
Do you have one or
I don't have one. I've got
okay?
well, you've seen my big gold because you re-leathered it.
I'm gonna lend you one. I'm gonna get your address again, and I'm gonna mail you out one, and you can mail it back to me
I
after a
mean,
week or
even
two.
Conrad says that the C4 has changed the game. I mean, it's the closest to it is the actual closest replica.
I actually have four of them. I've owned as many as seven. No, I have five of them. Um, and anytime one comes up for sale, I immediately grab it.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to get one for like $3,500 not too long ago, and I started trying to move some stuff to because I was tempted.
Okay,
So what is
that's
the
probably one of I
C4?
got.
Got to tell us, what is the C4?
Okay, the C4 is the brainchild of a guy named Colin who lives in Australia. His the C stands for, I believe, his family name, and then the four relatives, his children and his wife. He set out to make the closest possible true to the Crumb Ride that he possibly could. He found the original carver, not the original carver, but his brother. Original carver's passed on, but it's made from German silver, which is a fancy name for nickel, with silver plating, gold plating. So it's made in the same exact process. The bolts are brazed onto the back of the main plate. It's polished exactly like a crumb rind belt buckle you can get on eBay for like maybe 50, $60
In
for like a
case
little
somebody's
tiny one.
listening that doesn't understand what we're talking about, the original Big Gold Belt was made by the Crumb Ryan Belt Buckle Company, who provides belt buckles, Western belt buckles, made by a silversmith. Like if you win the rodeo or the world championships, like
Mhm.
my uncle won the world paint horse championship, and he got a Crumb Ryan belt buckle, world championship buckle. That's and the Crumb Ryan Belt Buckle Company was hired by Nelson Royal, who owned a Western store, and commissioned to make the big gold belt. And it's never there was the only belt that ever been made that way, and it
Mhm.
was handcrafted from by an actual silversmith.
They draw on a piece of flat silver and they carve into it. What a lot of people don't understand is that most of your places overseas are etching the lower areas and then they're carving the higher areas. Whereas a real crumb rind is actually an optical illusion. All these florals are actually carved into the German silver versus being raised and then carved. All the conchos, I mean, Colin and C4, they just did a fantastic job of this. And now you can tell how good they are simply because of all the hate they get.
Mm.
They get hate from everybody and their brother saying, "Oh, the C4, blah blah blah. It's inaccurate. This. It's inaccurate that." I'm like, You know what? If it's made by hand and another was made by hand, they're not going to match.
They're all just not. I mean, Conrad always said that when it came to big golds, they're all nice little tribute belts.
100%. They're all tributes.
But he wanted to get half hot about the C4, but he had it once he saw it in person. He's like, once he saw it in person, he's like, man, they've done it. He's had them at StarCast.
You know what I like best about it
you
is
saw mine. Danny Nixon made mine.
Very good job.
But I just recently learned that I never knew the letters on the big gold belt were relief pieces.
I thought you knew better.
I read the book and I didn't remember that fact.
Oh, okay.
I thought that I did not realize each one of those letters were reliefs. I didn't know it.
Well, now Colin actually has the original cast from the gem holders and the grapplers from the original Crumb Rind. So for an additional whatever, he can have exact castings from the original Crumb Rind for those pieces, which is really cool in itself. And what I like best about, I think, the C4 is I was buying an overseas maker, crummy, I call it a crummy big gold every year, because every year it was the new ultimate version. And then the next year it's like the new ultimate version. So yours was outdated now. And then I did that like 5 or 6 times. I was like, I am done buying the new ultimate version. And the C4 came out, and I had like you can see one of my YouTube videos where I have like probably 30 or 40 big golds. So I laid out about 15 or 20 of them, did a good video, got a lot of hits. I got to sell like, I think 8 crummies. And I was like, I don't need them anymore because I've got the ultimate of all. They can all taste
the
this for the next 20 years.
The case, they sent it in a case, and they actually started doing one where you could get the belt and a Karen McDaniel replica robe.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
They were doing that as well.
Yeah, well,
I'm a fan of it, but like I don't need 2.
Yeah, I'm going to send you one just for you to hold for a week or 2 if you want. And
right.
I got a feeling you're probably going to try to keep it from me, Dave. I don't know.
It'd be fun. I'll get mine down and compare them. I bet the leathers. I bet. Honestly, did you put the leather on the one that you're talking?
No. I did buy three sets of plates from Colin, and the leather that I have, I believe, is done by Daniel Ripley. And I think he's had several leather makers do it, but he's held true to the exposed bolts on the back and a similar to the Harris leather stamp on the back of the Crumb Rind, and he numbers it. So,
well, I think mine has your leather, so it's immaculate.
I mean, it's immaculate leather, but I don't know that I've ever held true to the exposed bolts. I don't think I've ever done it.
Yeah,
I don't like exposed bolts. There's like people. Number one question that I get on my leather page that really annoys me, and I shouldn't say it because then people are going to ask me. All my friends are going to ask me just to be smart asses. But do you do send out straps? And the answer is no, I don't. And here's why. You could take, if I do a send out strap for, let's say, a TNT, then all of a sudden you get some plates from overseas, put them on my leather, and then say, look, I got a red leather TNT bling. And you don't. And then next thing you know, I'll get a call from somebody saying, why'd you make this belt? And I'm like, I didn't. The other reason is I believe that the belt has to be 2 things: floppy, and you have to cover the bolts. So every belt I make, you're always going to see it's going to be just like a Reggie in the way that I shave my bolts. You barely see them. There's almost nothing there. You got to be true to the master, the original. And if you're not, then I don't feel like you're giving back the respect or the homage of what these belts were.
Well, let's talk a little wrestling.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it was a big ass wrestling weekend. And Amy, what all did you watch over the weekend, Amy?
Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what all was on. A little bit of TNA, a little bit of Night of Champions. I did not see any of Forbidden Door except for clips. And I don't think I watched NXT. I don't even know when that was on.
Hey, Allison. Yeah, Allison's got some good belts.
I don't know, Allison.
So a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All right. Well, let's talk about this. Might have been my favorite match of the night. No, it wasn't. It was my second favorite match of the night that I saw.
Yours was Zane. I know it. Zane and Cody.
No. My favorite match of the weekend was Thekla and Starlight Kid.
Oh wow!
I was super impressed with that one. But Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. The only problem I had with this match is that Zack Sabre Jr. didn't win. I was disappointed he didn't win. He is. I've been a fan of this kid, but I always thought he was really skinny. But he's filled out over the years, and I mean, now he's got a little size to him. And him and Omega put on a banger, and I mean, to the point where I kind of overlooked the Cirque du Soleil stuff, but it was just the counters, this and the counter that, and it did not disappoint. And the fact that this match was not the main event just tells you just how much variety that you get on an AEW pay-per-view. Y'all know that I don't speak highly of their television show, but I have never, I'm not going to say never, one time I have bought a pay-per-view from AEW that I felt like, I had buyer's remorse on. But I mean, they're batting like 98% with me that it's never disappointing what they do on pay-per-view. I don't always like the finishes, but I can't question the value, the effort, and not everything's for me. You know, that I'm not at 60 years old, I'm not their demographic. But I did like this match. Did you see it, Ron?
No, actually, I haven't watched any show since the WrestleMania, probably in Philly.
Oh, wow.
I go in my spurts. Like I'll do 3-4 years where I'll watch every single show, and then I'll do 2-3 years where I don't watch any, and then I'll go right back to it. It's been my cycle since like 1984.
Oh.
And I was a huge fan from like 82 to 85, and then from 89 to like 93, and then 98 to 02. That's always been my way. But I have been reading the forums on what's going on between all the big promotions now, and it just seems like AEW is pounding away at some of the best matches around, while I guess others are telling more stories.
Yeah, I mean it's two different sides of a coin. It's something for everybody. I hate the tribalism.
I do too. It drives me crazy.
I mean,
you can watch AEW and WWE.
It's cool that I've gotten a lot of friends that make a living in wrestling because of AEW. I'm glad that they have a place to work.
They brought me back. I was gone. I was like, I'm done with this.
I was super impressed with this match. These women tore it up. Thekla has a mean streak. Oh my God, she is vicious. And Starlight Kid, I'd never seen her before, but I'm a fan. And it just, I mean, look at her right there. She even looks like a star. But all the back and forth that, you know, Thekla's mad at Stardom because they fired her. She spit on their logo. She hit their president of their company, whose last name is Okada, but not related to the other Okada, because I checked. But and Thekla, I haven't really paid a lot of attention to her. I mean, she is built. I mean, she is in great physical shape. She looks like a wrestler. She's not, I mean, I'm trying to describe her. I'm not being pervy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she's a beautiful young lady, but I'm not being pervy when I say that. I'm saying that she is like, her presentation, she looks like she takes care of herself. She's not too skinny. She's not, I mean, she's just, her presentation, her gear fits correctly. She's so vicious that when she took that mask and ripped her mask off, and then here comes Rick Knox with a towel immediately covering Starlight Kid's face. And then she shows up to the press conference wearing the mask. It's like, man,
Nice slap in the face.
I loved every bit of this. And I'm a fan of both of these ladies coming away from it. And can't wait to see what's next. I had a little vested interest in this because I'm familiar with Maya World from the Indies. I worked with her in 2024 in Fountain Hill, Arkansas. She was in to wrestle Amy Camacho for the BIW Women's Championship, and I know Athena trained her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's one of Athena's. And I have a very high opinion of Athena, Ron. I think AEW stands for Athena every week, and Tony Khan needs to get on that train and get her out of Ring of Honor and put her on television every week. I mean, she's worked for everybody. She was trained by Skandar Akbar. She was trained by Booker T. She's been around the world. She's worked for everybody. She successful run in WWE. She knows how television wrestling needs to be presented. She runs her own wrestling company where she has Joshi tournaments, which is all women, not tournaments, Joshi shows, American Joshi, 4 times a year. She's very successful, and she also runs a wrestling school. I would say that Athena is the best women's wrestler in the world, and if she's not, she's definitely top 3. I think that much for you. I think that much of her. And you know, it's like I'll fight you in the middle of the street over that. I think that even though Mao did not win the Owen, I mean, it went like 20 minutes. It was a long match, long women's match. They gave them plenty of time. Mercedes is doing her best work, but Mercedes won the Owen again. Athena put over Maya in the tournament. Athena and Mercedes, if we're going to take anything away from the ladies' side of the Owen Hart Cup, they made Maya World. Someone that just happened to be in the building when 2 people from another company had been released and they were getting a tryout, didn't like the creative, and they hit the door. And then her and another girl got thrown on television. And obviously she's made the most of her opportunity, because a few months later, she's in the finals of the Owen with Mercedes Moné, who's probably recognized as one of, outside of WWE, as one of the biggest women's stars. I'm not going to say she's bigger than, because she's out of the 4 horsewomen, she's 4. But not that doesn't say that she's not incredibly talented, but what they've done, just for the fact that they made Maya World going forward, that she's a very credible in the women's division going forward. And the story, I mean, just the fact, and she lost her brother and still came to work, and it's inspirational. It's got and everybody says AEW doesn't give you stories. You couldn't have wrote a better story than this. And then immediately afterwards, Athena's talking trash about her, says, I underestimated her because I knew her. And then, proceeds to build up Mercedes. And I think this puts Mercedes on a trajectory back towards chasing the world championship. Or I
don't know if she needs at this point. Not after the all the belts she had at that one point.
And let's put her over for that. She not only went and collected all those belts on the indies to do the belt collector, but she built up those. I mean, she went back and dropped them. I mean, to be that many champions, to not be that many champions, you went on a losing streak to lose all those championships. So you went and left those promotions in better shape than you found them, in my humble opinion.
Oh no, she's definitely there.
Because she could have just said screw it and sent their belt back. Said thank y'all, and now I got to have a tournament. No, she went back and did the right thing and dropped them.
Yeah, but look at you can't say it didn't hurt you to see all them belts stacked on top of each other.
Yeah,
that's a belt collector thing.
I thought it was cool because I have a poster. I have a poster over here of the Great Muta holding all those belts.
Oh.
I love it. It's just that was seeing her go get all those championships was a fun angle. But my hat's off to them for doing the right thing by taking them all back and doing the right thing for business. And it I think she left everybody in better shape than she found them. So there's that.
I'm really glad she's in AEW.
Yeah, because she wasn't happy. I mean, if you're not happy somewhere, you need to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And
I get my feelings a little hurt when people go back to said company, like Saraya. When Saraya went back, my feelings got a little hurt.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I like Dave. You know the kind of guy I am. I'm super loyal.
I didn't know she was as young as she is.
Anybody says anything bad about Dave, I'm gonna get right on him. I'm like, hey, Dave's a great guy. Well, I'm kind of the same way about AEW. I mean, look, I love WWF. Don't get me wrong. I just don't love the most recent stuff, and AEW is what really brought me back.
Yeah.
Well, so how'd this match go down? MJF versus Briscoe.
Well, it's actually a 12-man tag team.
Okay. Did you like the cage?
I loved it. That's innovative. That's innovative.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
I mean, I can't find fault in it. I mean, everybody always makes it. I mean, it's just something different.
I like it aesthetically for some reason better. I don't know what it. I mean, I can't even say what it is, but I do like the way. I don't know. It just I did like it.
Square peg in a round hole.
It's just different. I mean, it's kind of like a 6-sided ring. It's different. I didn't like 6-sided ring, by the way, but I'm saying it's different.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. It looks pretty darn cool.
It's a different presentation of something that's been done to death, and they can. I mean, I don't know that this has ever been done anywhere. So, I mean, we had octagons, but this is somebody had the idea. Let's do something just a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe instead of doing Stadium Stampede, they put a lid on it and put them all in there. Or maybe instead of Stadium Stampede, drop the cage with no ring and put them in the cage with no ring.
That's different.
I'm just thinking, if you're doing stuff outside the box, I'd get tip of the hat for this. This was a cool idea.
I did read somewhere that someone else came up with this idea, and they were getting extremely great compliments over doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful.
The match ended. MJF got pinned by Briscoe, and Wednesday night, Briscoe was already going to get his title match against MJF. At one point, I think Orange Cassidy was squeezing oranges They were holding MJF's eyes open, and he was squeezing oranges into his eyes.
And Andrade turned on him.
Yes, Andrade is the reason that Briscoe. I mean, he finally took off his shirt and it said F Don Callis and F MJF, and
yeah,
wow,
yeah. So Andrade turned, and man, Andrade's over. He looks like $1 million. He looks better than he's ever looked in his whole career. He's playing that part with taking the selfies with the women, and
yeah.
And I'm happy for the dude. I really am. And
it's good to see him be able to bring his characters to fruition.
Yeah, and I mean, he must be extremely talented to be able to leave AEW, go back to WWE, and then come back and they wanted him back again.
Hmm.
Then we had the finals of the Owen, Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay. I got to say it's kind of telegraphed. There's no way in the world that Will Ospreay was not going to be the main event at Wembley Stadium.
Sure.
But if they would have swerved, no pun intended, I'm a huge fan of Swerve Strickland. I don't put a whole lot of modern stuff in my man cave. Over by my AEW championship, I actually have an autographed picture of Swerve with the belt. I'm a fan of Swerve Strickland. I think when they put the championship on him, they didn't know what to do with him at that point. I think it was a crying shame. And if I'm being honest, other than MJF and Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega, I always said Kenny Omega was nothing without Okada. But when Kenny Omega got the AEW championship, I thought he did his best work that I've ever seen him do. And I came around on Kenny because I think Kenny's one of the top AEW champions. I think his reign was that good, and only second to MJF.
Now, who will Ospreay?
Huh?
Go ahead, Ron.
Oh, I was going to say I would have really liked if they would have let me make a UK version of the International for Ospreay.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
I would have loved that. That's how my mind thinks.
Yeah,
I'd even like to make one for Swerve. Make him a different version.
I think they should. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, LA Knight had his own United States belt. And at first I was like, really? We need that? And I was like, well, it is kind of cool.
It's great job security.
I mean,
yeah, really.
Fanatics, I think Fanatics is driving that. I mean, all the football belts and hockey belts and basketball belts and baseball belts, and they come out with a belt for everything.
Well, that's partially true, but not completely. That's the story of the TNT, because when the TNT came out and it was the unfinished version, I caught a lot, and I mean a lot of heat online from it. People told me some very terrible things I should do to myself that it was so bad. And I said to my handler, Jeff, over at AEW, I said, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And he said, don't let these people get to you. In fact, I got a conference call set up between you and Cody. Cody got on the phone with me. It's me, Jeff, and Cody, and we talked for probably close to a half hour. And who can say that? Yeah. Cody told me, he says, man, you listen, you got to take these haters and just realize if they're hating on you, that you're doing something right. And I said to Jeff, like the next week, I said, listen, I want to take the TNT. I want to pound as many stones in this belt as I possibly can. And I want to make it for Cody so that he can, when he wins the TNT, that he gets that belt. And it was agreed. And then for whatever reason, Cody decided to let it get passed on to Sammy, I think. Sammy Guevara?
I think so.
And I what I think doesn't matter, but that belt was in my mind made for Cody. And that I think is what really spawned the all the unique belts. The Miro version that was made by Dan, the pink version that I think Dan made a copy. I made a copy for Kyle, and the blings along with the Burberry, well, I don't think we're allowed to say the Burberry, but the Triple B, which hey, that's the number one request right there, by the way. Can I get a Triple B? No, you cannot.
Oh, well, crap. That was going to be my next question. I told my wife, I said, I think I'm going to ask Ron because I got MJF. Because I got him. That's the nameplate I have on my belt, MJF. And I said, that leather needs to be Burberry.
I mean, I could agree with you. I wanted to airbrush that, and they wanted to go with a sublimation print, and then it's on my leather, but it's a print, and then it's sent back to me, and I cover it with a coating and put it all together.
Oh.
I've only made a handful of them, and luckily I got one for myself, and I gotta have one.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest kid in collecting. And people ask me that a lot too. They'll say something like, they'll make a complaint about something. I'm like, hey, let me just stop you right there. I'm a collector first, man.
Well, how big of a thrill is it for you to see your creation on an action figure?
Oh, I mean, there's no comparison. I mean, it's like the first time I ever sat down with Conrad, Eric Bischoff, Judge Jeff, and Dan McDevitt from MCW, and it's like, man, I am sitting down at a table with some legends of wrestling right now. It's like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What am I doing on TV? My belt's doing on TV. It
just takes you a few minutes to realize that they're just normal guys.
Right. What are my belts doing on action figures that I grew up collecting? It's crazy. Which one you got
there? Cash Wheeler.
Yes, there's no better feeling. I got so many toys of the action figures, the Jade Cargills. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm doing my 4th belt for Jade Cargill. They kept in contact after she went back over. Her and her husband Brandon Phillips.
I don't like him,
for the Reds.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He's actually a really, really nice guy.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm such a fan of Jade because she's just, I mean, she's an attraction. I mean, when I look at her, she's chiseled from stone. I just respect her so much for the presentation that she does.
Can you imagine anybody in professional wrestling actually beating her? That's always been my my problem. I'm like, I look at her and I'm thinking, she's just so larger than life that I can't imagine anyone beating her.
Who's the biggest thrill? Who have you met was the biggest thrill for you?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say JBL actually.
Yeah.
JBL is one of the coolest, most down to earth people. And he'd probably be a second to MJF because, like I said, I met MJF when he was just really in the indies, and I could tell he's fantastic. But the scarf thing just kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
But I talked to him, and he talked to me, and he's always been super cool. I love his character. I love how he keeps the kayfabe going.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing I hear about him is like, I can't believe he like takes people's belts and throws them after he signs them. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, to me, he's a great guy, and I don't want to break his character, but he's the nicest guy on earth.
I think you're supposed to say he's the absolute worst.
Yeah, I probably should say he's the absolute worst, but to me, I mean, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's called and done video calls with me at least 2 or 3 times now. So,
well, this is the guy that I dare say he's my new favorite wrestler.
Really?
This is the future of the wrestling business. I think that they should strap a rocket to him. I don't hate that. I mean, he won the King of the Ring. He beat Jey Uso convincingly. It was a good match. The referee, I'm gonna go ahead and crap on it. I didn't like that Jey put the sleeper hold on Oba during the match. And the reason why, who was in the main event, Amy? Amy's freezing. Ron, do you know who was in the main event at Night of Champions?
I thought
that was Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes.
Who
I
else?
really thought it was Brock
Gunther.
and Uba.
Okay.
But I didn't watch.
Well, Amy's got it. So what is Gunther? What do you think? What wrestling hold do you think of when you think Gunther?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
the
asking me,
sleeper.
are you?
Either one of y'all.
Oh, yeah, go with Amy.
What's he use?
The sleeper hold.
The sleeper hold. So if you got the guy in the main event that's making his bread and butter with the sleeper hold, he puts people to sleep with the sleeper hold. Why are you using it in the opening match? So
Oh, that makes sense.
That's the crap that drives me crazy, and I expect more out of WWE, especially with all the producers they have. But that's a little thing. That's Dave being Dave. That's old man barking at clouds. But I watch it a little bit different. And I even went to the matches the other night that I worked, and some of like Monty Warbucks was there and Calvin Rose, and I said, "Hey guys, I'm tearing myself up about this. I need y'all to tell me to calm down or if I'm right." And I told her, laid it out, and I said, "No, you shouldn't use it early in the match if Gunther's in the championship." But Oba wins the King of the Ring. We know that he'd already called out Roman. He told Jey Uso, you're not even the person in your family that I'm worried about. I'm even thinking about. So he beats him. He's the King of the Ring. And I really like that. And then we had the main event. I thought in Saudi Arabia, if Sami Zayn was ever going to win championship, this would be the night for him to do it.
Well, he's very over in Saudi.
And I don't have a problem with Sami Zayn winning the championship, especially in Saudi Arabia, because he's incredibly over. He used to not be allowed to go there. So his first time that he was there, he comes out, he's embraced by the crowd. He can speak to the crowd in their own language. They love him. It's not a stretch that he could win the championship. He's beat Gunther for a championship. I think he can go toe-to-toe with Cody. But also, when you look at the P&L for WWE, Saudi Arabia puts more cash on their P&L than anybody else. They pay obscene amounts of money to have wrestling come to Saudi Arabia. So at the very least, throw them a frickin' bone. You gave them a world championship change to a guy that is so beloved. That's good business. That's good business. They're never going to forget that they saw that. And he didn't have to carry it all the way to SummerSlam. But then, so I don't have a problem with it. And the fact that he beat Cody is cool. I mean, it's not one of those deals where Cody can say the champ didn't get pinned. It gives Gunther feels screwed again. And I love that he went after Nick Aldis. Called him a failed effing wrestler.
That'd be great to see him come out of retirement. And
well, they've suspended Nick Aldis, so Adam Pearce is actually the acting general manager for SmackDown now. He's doing both of them because of that confrontation. They've put him on like an administrative leave. I wouldn't mind seeing Nick Aldis come out and I don't think he's going to beat him. It would do nothing for Gunther to get beat by Nick Aldis, but I'd love to see Nick Aldis back in the ring.
Well, he could say he retired Nick Aldis. I mean, he could do something with his whole legend or whatever he was doing, the retiree.
As long as they don't do what they did with Sting.
But look at that. Look at Sammy. He's so happy. He's so happy holding that belt. And
I bet. I mean, I got to disagree with you here because this goes back to my old adage that the world heavyweight champion needs to be someone that you would not want to meet in a dark alley and have, a back alley brawl with at 1 o'clock in the morning with no ref. I could say that about Hogan. I could say that about the Warrior. I could say that about Triple H, The Rock. I can't say that about Sammy. Oba?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't want to meet that guy in the dark alley.
Yeah,
Brock
that's what
Lesnar?
that's what a champion looks like.
Hmm.
That's my stance on it.
And the
I
fact that
think
Brock Lesnar showed up, to confront him and said, you've been calling me a coward, you've been calling me all this, and then he goes, talk shit, get hit, kicks him in the nuts, gives him an F5. Oba gets up and says, that's all you do. You run in, you do a cheap shot, an F5. He goes, yeah, I call you names, but I'm looking you in your face and you're still a bitch.
oh wow.
And he gives up his title shot for SummerSlam but they're going to put it in Hell in a Cell, which really isn't necessary. But I mean, they haven't had a Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam since 2008, so it's not overdone.
And it's 2 nights, so
Right. So it's an attraction. I'm for it. But I'm with you. So
I mean, look right there. I mean, Triple H is towering over Sammy. He's actually leaning over, and I don't know. It's
Sammy
just been my theory.
But he's a good 50 pounds heavier than the previous AEW champion.
Well, but Sammy, no, don't you start that. Sammy comes across.
I know you're going with
what?
that.
I can lose 13 more pounds, and I'll weigh what the AEW champion weighs.
Oh,
I'm big enough to be. I didn't know when I became a referee 20 years ago that if I would have just stayed in the ring training, that I could have been the main champion on the roster.
You could have, but Sammy is
hold on now.
Sammy's goofy, and he comes across as goofy, and I don't like him as the champion. That's just my 2 cents.
I don't either. I'm saying that it makes good business sense.
Exactly. Just like Darby Allin being the AEW champion
made good business sense. Yes. It made horrible booking sense.
Darby for his size, because I mean, Darby can go toe to toe with anybody. The one match 2-3 years ago where he went down all those steps.
Yeah.
I would never take that bump.
Are the steps in the wrestling ring?
Well, I mean,
his main offense is slinging himself outside the ring.
I think it's no fear. I do understand what you're saying.
If you're in a Falls Count Anywhere match, then throw yourself outside the ring.
I'm partial to Darby a little bit because he got me over with Tony Hawk.
And the trust fall is not a finisher. But my thing, I don't have a problem with the business of Darby winning it. I have a problem that maybe he should have won it in a ladder match. And when he defended against Brody King, maybe they were fighting outside the ring and he got back in and Brody King got counted out. In no universe should he ever pin Brody King. That's as ridiculous as Tessa Blanchard pinning Brian Cage.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
And then, I mean, I'm just saying the booking could have been smarter, but I loved the story behind it. I'm not completely shitting on it. I just think that it could have been booked a little bit differently because he was winning by the skin of his teeth anyway. So why not? But that running and also he makes me, I don't want to see this kid in a wheelchair by the time he's 35.
I don't either, but he wants to do this. And so, he's definitely, his mother body slammed him on tax.
The whole family's goofy.
So I'm just saying.
The whole family's goofy.
I don't think that's not goofy. That's no fear. That's just no reservation.
But his bride
is goofy.
His bride is beautiful. He's a hell of a salesman. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And there's Sammy on top.
No,
that's Seth. That's Seth.
Yeah,
my bad.
It's
like, why is Sammy on top of a cage?
Freaking Rollins, man.
Seth finally beats Braun Breaker, putting the vision behind him. And he comes out and he cuts a hell of a promo on Roman Reigns.
Now, Braun Breaker. That's somebody I could see as the champ.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Here's the $1 million question. Okay, $1 million, fight to the death in an alley. You get to choose Sami Zayn or Braun Breaker.
Oh, Braun Breaker.
Wait. You would take Braun Breaker as your opponent?
Oh, no, I was taking Braun Breaker to win.
No. You versus Braun Breaker or Sami Zayn for $1 million.
Oh, I'll take my chances with Sammy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's my whole point. I want my champion to be somebody that scares the hell out of me.
Make no bones about it. Sami Zayn would kick my ass and would not have any problem doing it.
Nah, I'd back you up, buddy. We get them together.
Well, you didn't say I had help.
We'll give him a 3D. We'll give him the Dudley Death Drop. I'll hoist him. You put him through the table.
I'll be like, fall down, you asshole. I'm slapping my leg.
We'll scream out to Amy. Amy, get the table.
Yeah.
But no, but Seth Rollins, and he comes out and he's in the SummerSlam against Roman Reigns. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I like it. It makes sense. And he's even told him, he said, Roman, you're incredible. You know, you've done it all, and what you've done is unmatched, but you've never beat me. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a chance to beat me because you've never been able to beat me. And
I like that.
and Roman said, I think even Roman said something like to him that, I've never believed a word you said, but you're speaking the truth today. So
Seth is somebody that I could not stand, and that's how I know he is one great character. Remember when he had the world heavyweight and he had the U.S. belt, and they were making memes. They were putting the women's belt on him. They were putting the tag belts on him.
But he's a hell of a wrestler.
He's a hell of an entertainer, period.
Yes. All right, let's go over to the other channel. I didn't watch this. I'm giving you the results. We had the System against the Hardys, against the Righteous, against the Great Hands.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hardys won. It was a ladder match. The Hardys are back on top of TNA in the tag team division. It's hard to believe that these guys have been going for
how many
over
years?
25 years, 30 years now, and they are better now than they've been. They are rapidly approaching. They are rapidly approaching where they have to be in the conversation as whether being one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Definitely. But they were broken. They were the Broken Matt and Brother Nero.
Yeah.
Just
out of the audience here, who can say when the Hardys debuted?
As the Hardys? Or
I'm
enhancement?
I'm looking for anybody in the chat to say when the Hardys actually debuted. I'm just going to guess it was like 97 or something.
Well, the story is like Jeff lied about his age.
Yeah,
right?
they lied about their age, and one of the wrestlers, the Italian Stallion, was taking them up there,
and Jeff
charging them most of their money to go work enhancement. But I saw them at WrestleMania 17 at the 24-hour fitness stage at Access. And I didn't realize they were as big, physically big as they were, because they didn't look that big on television.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
They started in MCW, I believe. Maryland Championship Wrestling. Yep. They go back there regularly. They really pay homage to where they came from.
I have an Omega shirt here somewhere. I don't know.
And I've met them both. And Jeff, if you go get an autograph from Jeff, he does that whole drawing thing that he does. His autographs as a drawing. And I mean, he takes time. You're not rushed when you meet the Hardys.
Yeah,
they're very cool. Fan friendly. Matt's creative as hell. I saw him do an interview one time as Broken Matt, and stayed in character the whole hour. It might have been with Jericho, but it was just. I mean, they're both so incredibly creative. I'm glad that Jeff got the nose pulled up, and that he's clean and sober and doing his thing in 2026.
I didn't want to say.
And I like that they're back on top of the tag division. And Nick Nemeth pinned
Mike Santana
and became your TNA champion. And I think this is because Road Dogg's taking over creative. I'm excited. I'm going to give TNA another chance under Road Dogg.
Yeah. Is that official that Road Dogg is taking over?
I think it is.
Okay. I didn't know if it was official or not. I know there was a lot of rumors.
I was told that he was in the building in a creative capacity.
Awesome.
And if that's true, there hadn't been an official announcement. It's all speculation.
Right.
But if Road Dogg takes over creative, I will give TNA another chance. I was disappointed when they debuted on AMC. I gave them a chance. I wasn't all that impressed. So I saw some good matches, but I mean, I got high hopes and nothing against the talent. I mean, so let's see.
Wow. Thank you, Willie, by the way.
Matt Hardy appeared on. I'll put it on the screen.
Willie is a
But if you're listening to the
definite-
audio version, Matt Hardy first appeared in the WWF on May 23rd, 1994.
Yeah.
So that puts
Willie-
them at 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're
Well, they're-
still in the top of the tag division.
51 and 48. That's what the
Now, is that
ages
Sandra
are.
Bullock?
No, her name's Kendall Gray. She's basically the female Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And she became your NXT women's champion by beating Lola Vice on on the Great American Bash. And she's one to watch. I believe she's truly going to be a star. I'm high on
getting
Kendall Gray.
miscongeniality vibes there.
She does look like Sandra Bullock, though.
And so, why do you say she's like Kurt Angle? Is she a
She's a
professional?
legitimate wrestler.
Is she like Olympic wrestler, or collegiate wrestler?
Yeah, she grew up. I mean, she's a legitimate. Look at that neck.
Well, I know. That's why I'm just asking if that was her background.
Yeah, she's a legitimate shoot wrestler.
But
she's also got the personality that, I mean, they're making the comparisons to Kurt Angle.
Well, her outfit was an homage to it. Not this outfit, but the outfit she wore at Great American Bash had stars. It was very similar to something he would wear.
But let's
I
touch.
thought Dave was going to say she won that with a broken neck.
Yeah, let's touch on the state of wrestling real quick. There was so much wrestling on this weekend that we couldn't watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watched as much AEW as I could and had to go to bed. I went to bed after the Thekla match because I couldn't stay up. I couldn't stay up that late. I get up at 3:00 in the morning. If AEW would, like Wembley, will probably be earlier in the day. I can't wait. But it's counter programmed. It's being counter programmed by NXT and I know there was 2 shows that are going to be counter programming it. WWE
TNA, wasn't it?
Well, no, I think WWE is doing 2 different brand shows. It's got to be
AAA or something.
I just saw that this morning too.
Maybe it is
all
AAA.
3 were going to be
because Tony Khan said it was twice the compliment because they only used to do that to Crockett with 1 show. They're counter programming him with 2. He said it's a hell of a compliment.
I don't think there's any stopping Tony. I think he's just going to keep doing what he's doing, punching
Saturday
away.
night's main event. That's what Willie's saying.
Is it? But I think it's. I got a new television, and it came with a Google channel, and it came with the TCL channel, the brand of the television. The TCL channel shows Impact 24 hours a day, classic Impact.
Oh, wow.
That's
And
cool.
it's got a Lucha Libre channel, all Lucha all the time. And then I can watch TNA. I can watch a classic TNA on the Google channel. And I noticed that one of them's classified Impact, one of them's classified TNA. But that's just free extra content channels. The NWA, Evolve, and AEW and NXT are all on Tubi. You can get all that on Tubi. So you can there's so much wrestling, we cannot watch it all. You can watch wrestling 7 nights a week.
Yep.
I mean, we did a recap and I could not consume all the content.
And that's not even talking about indie shows you could attend.
Yeah. I mean, I worked an indie show Saturday night. And I'm sure there's a way that you can get MLW. I know that you can get MPX on Twitch.
Which promotion was that you refereed for this time?
It was Lost Art of Wrestling. We did a fundraiser for a lady that's got a brain tumor and a spine tumor. She's a mother of 4.
You guys are really giving back.
Yeah. It was put together. there was a car show in the parking lot earlier in the day that benefited. And then we had the wrestling that night. So, because I was actually supposed to guest on Kevin Davenport's show, and I said, "Hey, Kevin, I got to cancel on you because this fundraiser came up for this lady with brain tumor, and I want to go. I'm gonna go referee the show."
That's all three of us going on Kevin's show. I love Kev.
Kev's
Me
great.
too.
Yeah, it's one of the best people in belts that I know of.
And his podcast production is second to none. Other than genuinely being a great guy, I mean, he puts so much work into the presentation.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't
love
have a
being on
final
that
number,
show.
Willie.
You know,
I'll,
that's something that's near and dear to me. What you're doing there with that, that's something I'd be interested in getting involved in to do uh, some type of a discounted belt that could be raffled off for the cause.
yeah,
Because
we did it.
that's what
We
that's
did
what I'm
one
doing
for
with
the
Bruce.
Gabby Strong Foundation. Gabby's passed away, but her parents started a foundation for kids, and that one we did about a month or so ago, and we raised. I know we raised like $12,000 for them.
Awesome.
Yeah, because Jeff Jarrett was supposed to be on that show, and Jeff couldn't make it because he sent a bunch of merchandise. And I even told him, I said, Jeff, you sent some promo pictures I'd never even seen from Flair's last match. He goes, "Where'd you see them?" And I said, "You sent them to a show that I was on." He goes, "Oh, the Gabby, the little kid with cancer." And he said, "Yeah, I couldn't make it." He said, "You were on that show?" I said, "Yeah."
I've talked with Jeff a few times. He's a really, really, really good guy. In
I
fact,
love Jeff.
I really want to get an autographed guitar by him. And I don't really like autographs. I've got like Hogan, Piper, MJF, and a few Stone Colds.
I
I
bet
think
he'd
that's
sell you
kind of
one.
it. You know what? I think he'd probably give me one. He's got a chainsaw belt that I made, the
Oh,
Texas
does he?
Chainsaw Massacre.
Hmm.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I started to buy one of his guitars when he was doing Global Force. They did a show here at Trustmark Park, and we went to the show, and he had them at the concession stand. I mean, it is a gimmick table, like $130 for the guitar, autographed.
Things like that don't hold a monetary value to me at all.
I
They
want him to
hold
break one
a.
over my head.
I was just thinking that too. I would love that. In fact, when
I'm
Sting
jealous
came
of
back,
Corey and Cassio's been slapped, and Corey got one wrapped around his head. I was hoping that y'all was going to start reminding him that Flair's shoulders were down too, so he'd get even with me. But I love
well,
Jeff, and I came away from Flair's last match with a different level of respect for Jeff, just because I saw him how brilliant he is at wrestling.
Hmm.
You know, you
he
hear
gets
people
it.
talk shit about him, and his grasp of how to produce wrestling, like in the locker room with Flair, and he just took a legal pad and he started drawing it out, and just to watch him do all that, and he took every ego in the room and put them in his hands and got the room under control. I have so much respect for Jeff Jarrett. That's why he's still employed in wrestling after 40 years. And I got all the time in the world for him. And so when I tell you that Jeff Jarrett's on my Mount Rushmore, it's because it's not just in ring, it's what he does outside of the ring and behind the scenes. And he's not, and he's a quality human being too.
Hmm.
And that's the stuff you don't hear about. We're supposed to do a show next Tuesday, and we're going to have Philip Searcy on from the Mississippi Independent Wrestling Newsletter. And but next Tuesday, Dark Side of the Ring debuts with a two-parter, and it's that. So we may ask. I'm going to reach out to Philip and see about rescheduling for Wednesday, if you can do that, Amy, because I want to. I want to watch the Dark Side episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Willie, that would be one of my biggest regrets too. I got to tell you, when you meet Piper, he is not only one of the nicest guys on earth, but Dave was just saying how the Hardys took time. Piper did too. He sat there and talked to me for a good 4 minutes.
I had a nice conversation with Ronnie. I met him in 2005 in Tampa, Florida, and I did get a picture with him. And when the picture was printed, he did autograph it. I have an autographed picture of Roddy Piper.
I almost didn't go to that show because I was so mad at the maker of that Mid-Atlantic plate set because they were so late that I was pouting a little bit. My wife said, "Jesus, what if this is the last time he ever does a signing?" I was like, "All right, let's go." I went, and then he passed away like 6 days later.
Ooh.
And I was like, she said, "Aren't you glad I made you go?" I was like, "I can't thank you enough, honey."
You know what I remember most about him in that crowd when he walked into that room? You knew he had that presence, that aura. You knew he was somebody.
I know he
You
didn't
knew
need a
he
belt.
was somebody, but he didn't
still got it.
he didn't present himself that way though. He
Can
was
you
just as
imagine
down to earth
Piper?
and as glad to meet you. He seemed glad to meet you, and he wasn't. Sometimes you go to those autograph shows and they're good and annoyed. Sometimes the talent gets really annoyed. Like,
I really wish his Intercontinental reign would have been longer, and I really wished he would have got a world title reign. And that's actually one of the questions I asked everybody I meet, like Foley. I asked Foley, I said, "What do you think about Piper's reign?" He goes, "Piper's one of the best guys ever, but he did not need a belt."
yeah. Hogan said the problem with him and Piper, and they worked it out later in life, is they didn't trust each other. So they wouldn't do business.
Oh, wow.
And you didn't see Piper get pinned very often.
Mm-mm.
But
What?
he said if him and Piper would have trusted each other more, they like to work together. But as far as dropping the belts back and forth, they just, I don't know.
That's the one thing I would change in wrestling history if I could, is I'd strap that belt to Piper and let him get a good long heel run, pass the belt back and forth between him, Hogan, maybe even like Sid. You know, just get a little bit more Piper in there, but you know.
Well, let's play trivia.
Okay.
It's time for Amy's trivia. Can you hang? How big's your brain? It's time to play.
Amy, what's our topic tonight?
It is actually Slammiversary is our topic. Like you
All
said,
right.
with all the different ones to pick from. I actually was at Not a Champions in 2014 when it was in Nashville, but I don't know much about Slammiversary. So I was like, let's do that one.
I went to Night of Champions. I went to Night of Champions in Dallas in 2008. Yeah, 2008. I went to Night of Champions. I was on front row.
Cool.
I've got a chair from it around here somewhere.
So what year did the first Slammiversary pay-per-view take place? Was it 2003, 4, 5, or 6? What year did the first Slammiversary pay-per-view take place?
I'm going to say 2005 because for some reason I thought that was the 20th anniversary last year. Matt's saying it's 2005.
Ron, you want to take a guess?
I have no idea. I'll go with. Listen, I agree with Dave on a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go with 05.
Willie says it was in 3,
Okay.
but it was in 5. I think it's just because I remembered Conrad and Jeff talking about it had been the 20th anniversary, and it wasn't this week. They said that, so I knew it was last year.
Yes, June 19th. So what happened? So Willie is also a little correct. So what happened is that in 2003, they had the first anniversary pay-per-view or event. And then they did it again. They did the second anniversary. And then after 2005, they named it Slammiversary. And that is when the that Slammiversary first happened. Was in
I'm going to ask Jeff if Dixie named that.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, you know, that was public relations was kind of her thing. And I could see that maybe she took the anniversary and Could have been JB.
Make it their thing.
I'd like to know who named. Maybe Jeff named it.
Yeah, because 2005, that would have been kind of early for her, wouldn't it? When did she start with them?
She was with them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she got with them when Scrooge got busted, so it was pretty early.
Okay, well, maybe so. Like I said, there have been 22 Slammiversary pay-per-views, and the majority of them have taken place in the month of June because, again, it was the inaugural event was June 19th. How many have taken place in the month of July? So most of them take place in June. There's been a total of 22 of them, but there have been some that have taken place in July. Can you name how many have taken place in July?
You can't say that she throws softballs, Ron.
I do not.
She'll ask some stuff, and you're just all sitting there, and at one point you're just throwing up your hands and she's actually acting like that there's a chance that you're going to get it right.
Is it?
You're not going to try to get me to answer this, are you?
Well, you could just take a guess.
Hey, Austin Kendricks is here. Hey, Austin, what's going on, buddy? Austin's going with 7. I'm going to go with what Austin said.
And then Willie is. Oh, I don't know what Willie's going with. He said 3. Maybe
he's saying that.
Is that C? I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, he's
I'd
saying
go with
9.
probably A, 7. I'd say 7.
No, Willie's saying 7. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
There was 8 of them. Majority of them, like I said, take place in June, but 8 of them have taken place in July.
Cool.
Don't know why.
Now, is this something you looked up, or is this something that you actually know?
I looked that up. I like to find there's certain kind of statistics, I guess, that I like to ask about.
Okay.
And there's not as much history about Slammiversary as there are some of the other pay-per-views and different things like that. So
right.
I have some go-to questions.
Sometimes she'll be like, Kerry Von Erich held the Southwest Conference discus record from this date to this date. And what did he have for lunch before he beat Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship?
But
that's the kind of shit she asked me.
But with the Von Erich question, that's the kind of question I have to ask because he knows everything else, right? Like, what's the
He did own his underwear. I mean,
exactly. So Nick Naaman
some proper underwear.
is now a 2-time TNA World Champion after defeating Mike Santana at
Hi, Tony and Leah.
At Slammiversary 2026. Who holds the record for the most reigns as a TNA World Champion?
Matt said Kurt Angle real quick and in a hurry. So
Matt said yes. I see that.
He had it up there before you read it. So
I got a trivia question for both of you. How many hours of TNA has this guy watched?
I'm gonna say maybe 1.3.
I'm going negative.
Have you never watched TNA?
I have not. I've watched exactly 0 minutes of TNA in my entire life.
Really?
I've seen maybe some clips on YouTube of Hogan.
I used to watch the weekly pay-per-views, and then I didn't like the 6-sided ring.
I actually have a Hogan shirt that he wore live on TNA and a pair of his jeans, True Religion size 36.
Wow. Well,
really?
Yeah.
I started watching TNA when Hogan went there.
Well, we'll just go ahead and tell everybody it is Kurt Angle. That is correct.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go against Matt because he was so quick and confident on that.
Now, what's really interesting about the TNA World Title, because actually Bobby Lashley comes in second. For the first 5 years of TNA, Impact, whatever you want to call it, their existence, they used the NWA World Title. They had a deal with the NWA to use their title belts.
You want to hear a little interesting trivia?
Yes.
Ron, are you familiar with Clint Stevens?
I am not.
Clint's been around on the belt boards from way back in the day, and he's a gear maker now, and he makes gear for AEW, WWE, but
Oh, wait. Yes, I do know who Clint is, but I only know who he is because of Judge Jeff.
right. So Clint got a Milliken, brand new Milliken NWA Dome Globe, and he went to the TNA show where Jeff Jarrett was like, if you got out of the ring, the fans were standing there with straps, hitting them with belts, making them get back. Lumberjack strap match. The fans were giving belts.
Oh, wow.
So Clint makes a deal with Jeff Jarrett, says, hey, I'll trade you this brand new NWA belt made by Dave Milliken for the one that you're using in the ring. And Jeff swapped the belt.
Oh, wow.
He upgraded the belt because the other one was a J-Mar. And Ed Schumann lost his freaking mind and told Clint he would be banned from buying any belts from Midwest going forward. He wanted that belt back, and Clint told him to go piss up a rope. You're not getting it.
Wow.
So Clint had the ring used J-Mar because he traded it a Milliken to Jeff Jarrett.
Now, who's Ed Schumann? Just kidding. Kidding.
Oh, okay. Ed Schumann, for those that don't know, was
hold on. Let's ask Amy. Amy, who's Ed Schumann?
I don't know.
Yes, we got her, Dave.
Ed Schumann was a pro wrestling promoter. He promoted NWA Midwest, but he was also a business partner with like if you wanted to order from Reggie, you had to. He took orders for Reggie. I mean, you didn't order from Reggie directly.
Gotcha.
As I understand it, if you could get a belt from Reggie for like $900, and then Schumann got involved, the $900 became $1,500, and then I believe Rico got involved, and that became like $2,500 or something.
I went through Ed when I got my $900 Winged Eagle. So
I bet you right now you buy about 100 of those if you could.
I'd still have it if I was. I wish I wouldn't have sold it. I didn't like it. I don't have a Winged Eagle
right now.
I don't own a Winged Eagle right now.
I can help.
I'm gonna get another one. The one I had, I got it from overseas, and I got it from Orm, and it was a really good belt. But when the backing fell off of it, I got really mad because when you're overseas and you charge those kind of prices, your backing should never fall off. $200 and your backing falls off, buyer beware. But when Orm's claiming that they're the best there is, then and your backing starts falling off, and all the belt's ever done is set on the shelf, piss up a rope. I don't want to hear about
a little
a
partial here. I think I'm the best living belt maker, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I can hook you up with a nice Winged Eagle. We can get you a Reggie, or we can get you a red. I think I got 5 Reggies floating around here.
Oh goodness!
I've got at least 3 reds.
I'd probably end up getting a divorce.
We can go to the next one.
Your wife's never going to leave you. She knows she's got the best guy in the business.
I know, but I get so tired of begging for forgiveness. Go ahead, Amy.
Well, again, we're talking about how the Broken Hardys won the tag team titles at Slammiversary and listed all who they defeated, which we had already talked about it. How many times have the Hardy Boys / Broken Hardys held the tag team titles? And this is in TNA. How many times has it could either be Hardy Boys or the Broken Hardys, because they have done it both, have held the tag team titles in TNA.
I'm going to say 5. I don't think that they've won it and lost it that many times. I'm going to just go with 5. It didn't. Austin's going with 5. Matt Presley's going with 5. I don't.
And in my infinite wisdom, I'm going with 5. Yeah.
I think y'all are all correct. Right?
Yeah.
It is 5. Very good. They hold it. They're the longest holding ones. And no. They're the second, because more than likely they are going to surpass like the longest combined number of
Yeah.
days. I think they're only like 5 or 6 days behind. I can't remember who it was. It was it might be Beer Money, but I can't remember. I wish I would have wrote that down. But
It's either Beer Money. It's either Beer Money or America's Most Wanted.
it was not America's Most Wanted, so it must have been Beer Money. But I
Oh
felt,
God!
what?
All right, the group
Oh,
chat's gonna
yeah.
have to help out with this.
Yeah.
I think that I may be able to get some of these though.
Okay, Slammiversary is considered one of TNA's big 4 pay-per-views. Can you name the other 3?
Bound
What
for
are
Glory.
the other 3? Yes, Bound for Glory is one of them. What are the
I'm sorry,
other 3
my
pay-per-views?
screen's going off.
Bound for Glory. Lethal Lockdown.
No. Anybody in the chat know what is considered
They got
one of
one
the
called.
big
It's
4?
not Insurrection. It's Hard to Kill.
Yep.
Matt got Hard to Kill. There's one more. Rebellion.
I was going to say we were on the right track when you were talking about Insurrection. Yes, it is Rebellion.
Okay. Insurrection was the WWE one that they did in England.
Yes. So, yes. Bound for Glory, Rebellion, and Hard to Kill. And then Slammiversary. Those are their big 4. All right. 2 inductees were announced at the Slammiversary pay-per-view. Okay, let me start over. At Slammiversary, 2 more inductees into the Hall of Fame class of 2026 were announced.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name all 3 inductees in the class of 2026 Hall of Fame that have been announced so far? So they have named 3 people that are going into the TNA Hall of Fame. They named 2 of them at the Slammiversary event.
Tracy Brooks and Conan.
Not Tracy Brooks. She announced. No. She had the title because they're doing a new. They're having a new Knockouts title. No, Tracy Brooks.
She didn't get put in?
She's already in it.
Oh.
But she
well,
is
Conan's one of them then.
Conan is one of them.
All right.
Audience?
ODB?
It is ODB.
Okay, Matt Presley's on it. We got one more?
Yep. ODB was announced before the pay-per-view. I mean, like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, Amazing Red.
Amazing Red was the second.
Amazing Red.
Yes, Conan and Amazing Red were announced at the pay-per-view. ODB has been announced for a few weeks. So
there we go.
Yay!
Oh,
so
there was supposed to be one more question, and Stephanie didn't add it in.
What is it?
I'll do it next week.
From now on, every time I talk to Amy in private conversation, I'm going to start giving her trivia. I'm looking for retribution.
I'm telling you, I like it. Don't let them be on the PWI 500. I also like to ask those questions. Yes, Conan lost both of his legs. Yes.
Hey, Amy, I'm currently working on how many belts? Is it 3, 5, or 8?
No, and you, it's 8. No.
Actually, it is 8.
Speaking of TNA and belts, how do you feel? I'm not talking about the craftsmanship or anything. I mean, just the designs and how you feel about the belts TNA's putting out.
I don't really. Nice way to say it. I don't really like to say anything negative about anyone else's work. I just feel like they all look the same. Whereas, like somebody said to me one time, they said, "Oh, we don't like the fact that your tag, the world, and the TNT look nothing alike. That doesn't make sense. Why don't your belts have something like look like in a set?" And I'm like, well, you know what? The best Triple Crown ever made was the Winged Eagle, the IC, and the Classic Tag.
And they're all 3 different designs.
They are completely different. I like different things. I like my biggest problem with WWE is they've got the network logo and Night of Champions, the Universal, the other one, the women's, and it's like their tags. They do the same thing. I like what they did when they broke that up. I wish TNA would take some stuff that looks a little bit different. Maybe throw some curveballs in there somewhere. I saw the new knockout.
I like
think
that purple
Amy
pops
just
on it.
But doesn't it look like the other belts?
Yeah, they've got their own distinct look about their belts. I mean, it's
they all
different
kinda
from
look
everybody
like
other promotions, but
they all kind of look a little bit like the Ring of Honor six mans. They've got that same shape, if you
okay.
will. You know which one I'm talking about?
I believe I do.
Yeah, the one I put out about probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know who was first, but I didn't copy, I swear.
But it's I did like the KO that the women's television. I like that purple because it popped for me.
I bet you Caruso already got one. My boy loves some TNA, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
In fact, all these questions Amy had, he probably knew them all. He was probably at the live show.
Yeah,
He should have been. He should have been watching tonight, and he could have answered all the trivia questions right. And
let me see if he's texting
and
me.
the ghost of Andre the Giant would have showed up to deliver him absolutely nothing.
Well, he must not be watching tonight because he's asking me how I'm doing.
Hey, Amy, I'm gonna show you what I got in the mail today.
Oh, nice.
Defining Moments Penta.
Nice.
That's nice. I like it.
My wife said, "Get Penta. Penta's collectible." Okay.
Well, that's how you know your wife's a keeper, when she tells you to get a figure.
Yeah,
No
she wanted me to
kidding.
order the Penta, but Amy, this is Muda. This is the Great Muda, Amy.
Are we sure that is the Great Muda?
Yeah, and it even comes with a little accessory that looks like he's blowing mist. Me and Amy got like a running thing about the Great Muda.
I didn't know one of his 50,000 names, so that was my bad.
She didn't know what he looked like either.
I do know what he looks like.
All right, this has been fun.
Good. He got that. Oh, somebody needs to restrap a belt.
Yeah. Hit me up on my leather page. As long as it's not a illegal belt, I probably will.
All right. Well, Ron, I can't thank you enough for joining. This has been fun. We went 2.5 hours. It feels like we've been doing this about 20 minutes.
Anytime. I mean, you and Amy been nothing good to me, so I love talking to both of you.
Yeah, I used to try to keep these under 2, and I looked up and we've gone 2.5. I'm like, wow. And this is fun. I'm glad you did this. Thank you so much. We'll get it out there tentatively next Tuesday, but I'm going to talk to our guest and try to get it moved because I really.
What time is the Dark Side of the Ring? What time does it start?
I think it comes on at 7. There's 2 episodes.
Oh, it's 7? Okay.
Yeah.
The last one I watched was The Plane Ride from Hell, and I said I'm never going to watch it again. I
haven't watched.
My feelings hurt.
Yeah, they screwed Rick, and I don't like either one of the guys that does the show. But the only reason I'm going to watch it is because it's Jeff, and I've been told that Conrad's already seen 2 episodes. So, and this is and on his recommendation, I'm going to watch it. But no, they completely screwed Rick on The Plane Ride from Hell, and they knew they screwed him. They knew they screwed him.
What do you mean they screwed him?
They screwed him in the edit. And they put a woman on there to disparage Rick that they didn't do their due diligence on. That she was there for a payday and that she had robbed a jewelry store, and but they didn't vet it. They didn't.
We talked about this before. Just because she robbed a jewelry store doesn't mean she couldn't have been sexually assaulted. But
she wasn't sexually assaulted. They've been telling the damn story for 20 years and everybody thought it was funny. And then they put this hoe on the show without vetting her.
Hey, now that's not name call. Let's not name call. But
I said what I said, and
kid.
I apologize for nothing.
I know, but I'm just saying, yes, they've been telling that story for 20 years, and the boys, they all thought it was fun.
Everybody thought it was funny until they did it on Dark Side.
You know, my problem with that is that she took a great big check from Vince.
Yeah.
And then later on came back with the story.
True.
If you took that great big check from Vince, then whatever it was, like if it was that offensive, then she shouldn't have taken that check from Vince, and she should have gone to all the news with it. But
I don't believe Rick forced himself on her because Rick didn't have to. Now, did Rick open up his?
We weren't there, but I think you're right.
But Rick opened up his robe and he had nothing on under his robe and probably had a balloon tied to it that went up. Yeah, probably.
Oh, who hasn't done that?
But anyway, I've had a problem with them too. Yeah, I
got a flare robe here. We can reenact. It'd be great. Hello.
I had his robe in the original Big Gold Belt, but that's in the story for another time. And it's not going to be on Talking Rasslin with Pondwater Amy, exclusively here on the Markout Moments Network. Good night.
Good night.
Talking Rasslin, time to go. Thanks for watching our epic show.